Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is... What's in the box, man? We don't generally know. We don't do much with it these days, but it is a box, and things might happen. You never know. Today is September 14th.
A Saturday.
A Saturday.
I was confused a minute because when you first were doing your finger guns thing, it reminded me of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, am I going to die? Yeah. I thought I was going to be dead for a minute there. My bad.
I haven't seen that in a long time. One day we're going to start reviewing anime.
If you guys want to see that,
I love anime.
Hit us up.
One episode a week. That'd be...
A lot?
See, that's the thing is, when we do our Breaking Prisms, it works well with the anthology. You can review everything individually because it's a whole story. You can review it. You're not going anywhere. But when it comes to like episodes of an anime, reviewing every episode, that's like, whew.
It's like people. It's like the people who, of course, review Game of Thrones episode by episode. There's people who do The Walking Dead episode by episode. Just like I
You can be real committed with those, but those are more like, oh, this is once a week. It's an event that happens. And people sit down and watch, and they can go through the reviews and everything else. The Game of Thrones is a little better because it's really short and contained. There's not that many. But if we were to do anime, it's already out.
130 episodes.
There's going to be... We try to stick... That's what I would... You'd be... I don't know. I think the best way would be like, hey, we will try to stick to shorter anime, or try to do something a little shorter, and then try to split like, oh, we're going to watch the first half. And review half, and then review the latter half. They do 2 episodes on the first and later halves of the episodes of the series, because I just can't see reviewing every episode of an anime, especially some of them.
Jeez.
Stuff that are tiny, maybe like Fooly Cooly, like 4 episodes. But at that point, it's like, why not just watch all of them and review the whole thing?
I heard someone rumoring a reboot of
I heard you. I did hear that we were supposed to get another reboot or sequel, or whatever it was. I want to say it happened. I don't know. I gotta keep it out.
I'm Googling this, okay? But I'm just doing FLCL though, because I ain't no one got time for that. FLCL Alternative, a 2018 film.
Yeah, I thought there was something that come out. I'm disappointed I didn't actually watch it then. I forgot about it.
Many years have passed since...
So it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Which a film works fine because, I mean, the first 4 episodes were, what, that's like an hour and a half already by itself? I'd have to rewatch that.
Yeah, I would have to rewatch the...
the 4-episode anime.
Yeah. That was like middle school, high school years? I don't remember. Somewhere in there. It was mixed in. It was thrown in there somewhere.
It's crazy. It was insane is what it was.
The eyebrows. I always remember the eyebrows.
Some crazy
giant ass eyebrows.
But there's some very particular anime I would love to just sit down and chat about. That, and I would also love to sit down and chat and just go through the entire library of Hayao Miyazaki's films. And just one by one. Just because they're phenomenal. Phenomenal films. Which I was going to mention a minute ago before we jumped into this, but I'm going to mention it now. We do have people that if we wanted to go see Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke in theaters, we have 2 people who would probably be willing to go see them with us. One is the person that I went to go see it with. Because he mentioned it. And it was like, yeah, okay, I'm down. We could do that. And 2, probably the person you went and saw it with. I think she's mentioned it because I've talked to her before.
And then, of course, the original one.
What?
The original one we started this plan with.
Oh, well, I mean, if we can get her. If we're talking about the same person. Yeah, if we can get her. So, but still, that's at least 4 of us that can go see those 2 movies in theaters. He was also disappointed that he missed Nausicaa.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I am too. Okay? Because I kind of love Nausicaa.
We didn't start planning this till after Nausicaa had already hit theaters and left.
Yes, yeah. God, I love Nausicaa. But Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke are phenomenal films.
Spirited Away I have seen in theaters, but I would be willing to go see it again. But Princess Mononoke is my I need to see that one. I have to see that one.
These are great films. I mean, hands down, they're phenomenal films, both of them. So, maybe we'll do an anime show. Maybe, who knows what we're going to do. We don't know what we're going to do. But...
We went from having like 8 shows to 4 to 2. So we never know what's going on.
We're going to do another show that's going to be broken up between series and movies. And it's going to be anime. And animated movies. And they'll be what they are, but it'll get me watching anime again. So I would be very happy about that. Because, God...
The last one that I watched, and I don't think we've talked about since our last What's in the Box, because I think it's been earlier this month, was...
There's stuff going on right now that there's things I'd be interested in getting into.
Well, as far as, like, I watched anime, like, for the first time, and I don't know how long, was... I think I had mentioned maybe a couple months back that I had started watching the reboot of Fruits Basket. I haven't continued it. I have been slacking on that one. But recently I did watch the entire series of Castlevania.
You haven't mentioned it on here. We've talked about it, but you haven't mentioned it on here.
Okay.
Because you did mention it to me specifically.
Yeah. Well, I think it was earlier this month, so we wouldn't have had a What's in the Box until after.
No, I think that's really great, and I just hope they keep going with it. I mean, I think they've done really, really well so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I like the animation style. Like, I love the voice actors and stuff they chose were actually really good, and of course, I love the bantering between characters. It was great.
Another one we could also just why not? Let's just watch it again and review it. I know the first season is only like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how long the second season is. It's not very long. But it's longer, though.
Was it 8?
It might be 8.
Because it was literally one of those things where I was watching it, and then at one point in time, I was like, okay, I got to come back to it. I got to pause it or something. So I exited out, and when I came back in, it was like episode 1 of season 2, or continue watching episode 1 of season 2. And I'm like, when did season 2 happen? Because I just kept hitting next episode. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how short season 1 was.
Oh, yeah.
So I was already watching season 2 and had no idea.
Yeah, well, I really, really, really feel like the first season was a movie. Mm-hmm. They're like, I think we should put this out as episodes. Okay. Well, just split it. Okay, it's 4 episodes. Okay. It feels like a movie where they cut how they do things. Like, this was clear. This doesn't feel like things happened in episodes to build on top of each other. This feels like one just continued. It's a movie that you split to be episodes.
Yeah. Which is fine. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Fine. I mean, I watched it all at once anyway, so it was a movie for me.
Yeah, for me it was too. I just binge watched the entire thing. So definitely go check out Castlevania if you
if you haven't seen that.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix, because they're the one who did it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a Netflix original.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original, so they're the ones who put it out. So that's great. I'd love to get you to watch One Punch Man.
I still need to see that one.
First season, I think, was really great. I've heard very mixed things about the second season, so I'd be interested to see where that goes. So that was good. Only watched the first season of... because the second was terrible. Now I'm forgetting the name of it. Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was another one that I was like, I need to find it.
Because I thought the first season was, like, really cool. And it's like, I cannot wait to see where they expand in season 2. And season 2 was just bad. But then I had read they had changed a lot of things from so I was like, of course it is. So, but the first season, really cool.
There's so much anime.
There is.
So much.
And then I need to continue on Attack on Titan, because I've only seen the first season of that. And that was really cool, really fun. But I think they're on like season 3 or 4 now. So
I watched the first episode because what I did is I went on Facebook and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a new anime to watch." And 2 people suggested 2 different things. One said Devilman Crybaby, the other one said Castlevania. So what I did was I watched the first episode of each one. I watched Devilman Crybaby first, and it didn't hook me right away. I mean, it was weird. Like, it was really strange. But, and the animation style is kind of trippy. But I was like, I could see myself continuing watching this. But then I watched Castlevania and immediately had to watch everything. So
That's why he was really good. And of course, I'd love to go back and watch older anime again and again and again and again and again and again. Like, of course, all-time classic Cowboy Bebop. Like the said person I was talking about a minute ago, he's got a "See You Later, Space Cowboy" in the back of his car. I'm like, oh, God, I love that. It's great anime. Between that and Outlaw Star that I've got right there. So Outlaw Star, Neon Genesis. I would love to watch through the series, like us go through the series, review the series as trippy as the ending is, and then go back through and rewatch the movies that came out afterwards.
Okay.
Because I think all of them are out now. I've got the first 3, and I think there's 4, because they changed. I think the first movie is like almost identical, very, very super similar to like the first part of the series, but then they start introducing elements and things start changing, and a new character comes in, and it changes a lot.
Trippy.
So I would love to do all that because I love Neon Genesis.
I remember when it was on TV, and that was it. I think that's all I watched was an episode now and then.
We will never review Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Because incredibly, we will never review Yu Yu Hakusho. No. Inuyasha. I'd be fine doing Yu Yu Hakusho. Yes. It's not terribly long. But Inuyasha.
Bleach is too long.
Bleach, the next one I was thinking.
Bleach went, woo! At first it was fine, and then
it's like 300-400 episodes or something. Way too long. Naruto.
Yeah.
Nope.
Naruto is not only too long, but it's branched off in so many different directions that I think now isn't it his son or something that's the main character? I don't know.
So, unless we started doing this and it became super popular, magically became super popular, and then we got high requested to do something like that, there's no way. It's just way too long. I'd like to watch other things. I love Dragon Ball Z. I've seen it. I will keep... When they put stuff out, I will watch it. But we're not reviewing it. It's not on my top of anything. I was not a big Dragon Ball Z fan. To me, I never got into it. I never got into the art style. I'm one of those random people off in the corner that everybody shuns because I was not into DBZ at all. It was my gateway drug. So, and I've stayed with it ever since.
Nope. Of course, I love Rurouni Kenshin.
I started rewatching that. I grabbed it like 4 times. It's bright green and it's gone. I don't know where it went.
It's right by your toes.
Okay. Yep, there it is. All right. I started rewatching it. Not terribly long ago.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago or something. And was surprised to find this, didn't hold up as well as I remember it.
No.
And I was like, I'm disappointed. I just found it to be kind of drug out and a little boring. And I'm like, I don't know if it ends up getting better for that first season. Woo, buddy.
I remember I felt the same trying to rewatch it as well.
Where Outlaw Star is 10, 13 episodes, and that's so good. Oh, I love Outlaw Star.
I remember watching that one on TV too.
Yeah, because I think I watched it on, I was at Toonami back in the days when it originally came on.
Yu Yu Hakusho, Outlaw
Did Yu Yu
Star.
Hakusho come on Toonami? Or was that more of a Adult Swim?
I don't remember. Because, there was always that blurred line.
It's hard to remember which one came where. I distinctly remember some in certain spots. Like there was the Rock Block. I mean, where Dragon Ball Z was into that. That and, Card Capture Sakura and Sailor Moon and Zoids.
Those were my go-tos. No.
I enjoyed Card Capture Sakura.
I actually have. It was given to me as a gift randomly when I was younger. Pretty much someone we met at church. I just became friends with him, and just out of nowhere, he's like, "Hey, here." I do have the Book of Cloud, and it actually has all the tarot cards in it, and their pictures and stuff like that.
So I like that. I never got into Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I did.
I think it was just a thing. It was screaming, girly,
girl power,
super girl, and I was like,
power.
But I mean, getting that really, I felt like Card Capture Sakura was also girly, but I got into Card Capture Sakura. But Sailor Moon, I just never could do Sailor Moon, and but yeah. But Zoids and Dragon Ball Z, and when they showed Dragon Ball, and
I don't know. To me, I think Dragon Ball Z always looked like little kids on steroids, and I just could never get past that. So.
I mean, some of them did look that way. Exactly what some of them looked like, because they're little kids. And
yeah, I couldn't do it.
But I love Dragon Ball Z. But and of course, Adult Swim had some very specific. That's where I watched, of course, Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, of course.
Me Adult
too.
Swim.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And Trigun.
Trigun. Love Trigun.
I miss Trigun.
I'd love to rewatch all of Trigun. I started doing it at some point. I've started so many animes.
Yeah.
But and got through the first part of it.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this like in one of our older episodes. Like either we were talking about conventions or whatever. But like the greatest moment is one of the first anime conventions that I ever went to. There was a Bash walking around, full red trench coat, had the glasses, everything, hair spiked up. Looked exactly like him. Well, I got his picture and then went about the convention, whatever, and we happened to follow a group of friends to like a room party where they were doing, I guess, that anime theme song, and I was paying attention to something and happened to see red out of the corner of my eye. So I look up, literally, there is Bash, the Stampede, sitting in the windowsill watching everybody with a box of donuts on his lap. Like, I don't even know if it was... It didn't look like he was actually, like, doing the character thing. It looked like it was literally Bash eating donuts. And I was like, this is the best moment of my life.
That's great. I don't know where I watched Gunsword, but I ended up watching Gunsword. I've mentioned it before, because I really enjoyed it. It's only one season. It only has, I don't know, like 13 episodes or something. But really good.
There's some really... I wouldn't say obscure ones, but ones that I remember watching that I don't know whatever happened to them. Like, I don't remember if you know one called Vampire Hunter D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The movie?
The movie,
I'm pretty sure it has a series too, didn't it?
Yes.
I've seen the movie for sure.
I think I remember the movie the best, though.
Yes, I remember the movie.
But I want to say they did try making a series out of it.
I want to say there was one, I think.
Yeah.
Another thing, there was what was it, Trinity Blood?
Yes, Trinity Blood. I do have a shirt. Yeah.
That was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Of course, also on Adult Swim, I ended up watching Witch Hunter Robin, which I would love to rewatch. I don't remember a drastic amount about it, but I remember enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
That and Wolf Rain.
That one was... If we review Wolf's Rain, I will cry. Like, that will kill me inside. That is probably one of my top most favorite animes. Obviously, wolves, people. If you guys saw me leaning towards, Princess Mononoke, it's a giant wolf. Well, this one is nothing but wolves. So, no, I love Wolf's Rain. I remember watching it on TV and actually, of course, not knowing what's going to happen because you are following it on TV and then hitting that final episode and just...
The thing is, I don't remember how it ends.
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
I remember where I was when I watched it. I remember who I was with when I watched it. And I remember what happened when I watched it. And it was amazing. Like...
As I look over here, it's like, Stefan, how have you not mentioned one of the top animes of all time? Why would you just ignore it like that and just completely forget about it? I don't remember when I watched or how I watched it. Doesn't really matter. Full Metal Alchemist.
I was about to say, because I didn't know if you were leaning towards Ghost in the Shell, because I know that you really
no,
Ghost
that's a
in
great
the Shell.
movie. I'll talk about the series.
But yeah.
Love the movie. I've seen it 4 or 5 times. I saw the one where they added the digital stuff in it. It's like, it looks cool, but no, just the 2D one is much better.
Full Metal Alchemist, of course.
But Full Metal Alchemist, just phenomenally good. I love Full Metal Alchemist.
And then, of course, Brotherhood came out.
Yes, and Brotherhood, I think, equally as good. Mm-hmm. But Brotherhood basically does what I was saying that Neon Genesis does. They both start off very similar. And they start, and then one starts kind of speeding up, and it changes a little bit, and they branch off into just kind of, they become their own series at some point that happen to have the same characters in them.
And I do have the movie, Full Metal Alchemist Conqueror of Shambhala.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one, but I think I only have it in Japanese.
Oh, really?
With English subtitles. So. Still really good, though. Really good.
Great.
But when I was saying Vampire Hunter D, there was another one that I randomly watched like a couple episodes of, or if it was a miniseries or a movie, but there was one called Blood Plus.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
Another random anime that was enjoyable, but my brother got into it so much more than I did, was Initial D.
My brother as
the
well.
The car one.
Yep.
Like,
I liked it. It
was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was good.
But my brother, that was how I got him into anime, pretty much, was Initial D. And that's pretty much the only one he really
It's
focused.
really strange. Just this interesting anime about driving a car downhill and being able to drift like a son of a gun.
But for some reason, you were glued to it.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining.
So yes, he, the guy that I was dating at the time, I believe, was into it and then introduced Adam to it, and I was like, Adam, it's anime, you gotta see this. And he's like, yeah. And then he fell in love with it, and that was his big thing, so.
Another one my brother really, 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 really liked. I didn't watch a lot of. I remember liking it, but it's called Bucky the Grappler.
That sounds familiar. I don't think I saw it.
I think they redid it or did something else with it later on. Or not too terribly long ago. There's that and... there's the name of it. Gurren Lagann. Mm-hmm. Great. I love Gurren Lagann.
Yes.
2 seasons. Wildly different seasons. But really, really, really great. The ending to that is insane.
I don't remember if I've seen the second season.
Not as insane as Genesis.
I think I watched the first season and then I didn't know what happened past that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I think they age your way up a bunch.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I've only seen the first season.
I believe so. I believe there's a time gap and then they age up and then it keeps going, but I remember correctly. But yeah. I remember the ending because it was crazy.
So yeah, if you guys want us to discuss anime and review anime, go over some of these, let us know your favorites too.
Look down at the manga down here.
Yeah, I know. Hellsing's right there. It's kind of just staring at you. Yeah.
Good old Hellsing.
Ugh. That was like one of the first mangas that I actually saw. Like someone was like, "Hey, you should look at this." And
Strangely, the only 2 animes I've ever gotten Sandy to watch. One is All My Goddess, and the other one is
Midori Days.
Midori Days. If that's what I think it is.
Yeah. Neither. Well, I can't say. I think I've seen Oh My Goddess a couple episodes, but otherwise, no, I haven't seen either of them.
I don't remember much about it.
I remember seeing the manga around more of Oh My Goddess than actually the anime. Because every time I'd be looking through manga and stuff, there it would be.
So, hard to get Sandy to watch animated stuff. Unless it's a movie and feels Disney-ish. And even then, it's hard to get her to watch stuff.
I don't know. I love anime.
And so do I. As we've sat here and talked about it for, I don't know how long at this point, but... last part 20, 30 minutes we've been talking about anime.
It worked. We didn't know where we were going anyways.
No. Love anime. That's why if we were trying to review it, it'd give me a reason to watch more of it. What is it?
Where are we starting at?
There's 2 that I want to watch that's out now. One is My Hero Academia.
I've heard so much about it.
I've heard an insane amount of good things about it.
My cousin is obsessed with it.
And Robert really loves it. Mm-hmm. He's the one who told me to watch it so many times. That and something I keep seeing, it pops up on Instagram a bunch, or people are drawing characters of it. I think it's fairly new. I think it's, what is it called? Demon Slayer, maybe? Or
yeah, that is...
I feel like it's brand new. Because
because I've heard of it too.
But so many people, I kept seeing this character pop up in my feed. I'm like, who is this? Why is... And I look at it like, oh, okay, I've seen the commercial for Demon Slayer. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well, apparently it's popular. People are liking it. So I'm now intrigued.
The other one that I've been seeing around lately, I haven't heard much about it, but the people who are into it are really into it, is It's something in Shield.
Sword and Shield, Pokemon.
No. Not even close. I would say close, but no, not even close.
The only thing I can think of with Shield was that.
The Rising of the Shield Hero. But apparently,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I know it's a manga, but I believe they've made an anime now, too. Yeah, 25 episodes. Yeah, there we go. I know how to click. My phone's literally like, I'm gonna show you the worst picture ever.
That's the lowest quality image you could possibly find.
Okay,
I mean, they're practically pixelated here. It's like, okay, well.
There it is.
Does it look familiar either?
As I said, I've just randomly been seeing it around, and then I'm pretty sure that, as I said, the people who do like it are going crazy over it. So
there's a lot of stuff out there, and I've seen so many random episodes and so many other series that just aren't coming to mind at the moment.
Well, the funny thing is that like obviously it's Netflix, so you're gonna find people who have seen the shows on Netflix because it's Netflix.
Netflix has an insane amount of anime on there.
But I was talking to a coworker, and I had mentioned the anime K, because it's one that I watched on Netflix. I haven't seen all of it, but immediately when I said K, they knew what I was talking about. They're like, I really enjoyed it, blah, 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 and I was like...
For some reason, you said K reminded me of another one we didn't bring up that we should have brought up. Death Note.
Oh.
You haven't seen Death Note, have you?
What? The anime?
The anime, Death Note.
I read more of the manga than I've watched the anime.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I loved Death Note.
Primarily, and I know how it ends, so because that got spoiled for me. I don't know how long ago.
Well, mainly season 1. Season 2 was good, not as good as season 1. It should have ended at season 1. It really should have.
That's a lot of things. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our anime talk.
Yeah. Let us know your choices of anime. What are you watching? If you're reading manga, let me know, because I love manga. I will binge read a bunch of manga and not even realize I'm doing it. So.
Well, it doesn't take long to actually get through a book.
That was my problem, though, is growing up, I would spend about $10, if I remember right, it was $10.32.
Somewhere around this.
Yes. For a manga, and I would read it in less than an hour.
Yeah, because it don't take long. Because there aren't a lot of words. Some have more than others, but there's a lot of pictures with bubbles, and you can get through that pretty quickly.
I don't know. I've had people tell me that it takes them forever. But I don't know if they
Are you studying the drawing and the lines? I mean,
I have to know what happened, so I'm like.
It doesn't take much to just gander through pictures and hit the words. And I mean, for me, and we know I'm very slow reading, and I mean, pop through one of those manga books like it's nobody's business.
So yes, I binge read a lot of manga on my phone. So
I do not. I've read some here and there. What was it? Something arcade. I've seen the anime, and I really, really like the anime. But I heard that the manga was different, so I read the manga on my phone. Okay, what was it called? I don't know. I have one of the random DVDs in here.
The last manga I physically remember having in my hands and reading was Dead Man Wonderland, and I don't know if I got through all of it. You never heard of it? It's an anime now too.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but when you said Dead Man Wonderland, all I thought was Gantz right off the bat. For some reason, it's like, huh.
No, it's about a boy. Okay, don't quote me on this because it's been forever. But it's
about this. It might not be, but it's about this.
If I remember correctly, it is about a boy who gets sent to this prison, and this prison is actually a theme park. Like they have the prisoners working at this theme park. But what they do is they have battles within, against, like prisoner against prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I believe, to the death, if I remember right. But it was actually pretty interesting. Like, I liked the concept of it. It was just really weird. I can't tell you whether I liked the manga or the anime better because it's been forever. But I do know that I really enjoyed the manga. So.
And despite what most people, if they watch anime, are going to dislike my opinion right now, is I, personally, unless it's atrocious and absolutely atrocious,
You doing dub versus
I would
sub?
much prefer to watch a dubbed anime.
Me, it depends. It depends.
Doesn't depend, period. It only depends is if the dub is horribly atrocious.
Okay.
Which, these days, if you're dubbing anything, it's good, way good enough.
I don't know. For me, it depends. It depends heavily.
Let me hear it and watch it like it should be. I don't want to be
Watch
trying to
it
read.
like it should
watch
be?
it like it should
No.
be. I don't need to be trying to read and try to catch what's happening on the screen.
Watch it like it should be. Should be is in Japanese.
No,
where it
should
belongs.
be is I could actually watch and appreciate all the beautiful drawings they've done and listen in my native tongue. That's how it should be. Do a good dub and it's good.
I don't know. I think you should venture into both, but
No, I've watched plenty of subbed anime. Way more than my fair share. But I prefer dubbed.
I cannot remember what anime it was, but it drove me insane. And even, I think it was my dad who brought it up first, but there was one character in an anime that I watched. In the English dub, he was supposed to have this, like, Texan Southern accent, and it was the most horrifying thing I'd ever heard. Like, it was so over the top that I was like, if I have to listen to this anymore, I'm done. Luckily, it was a side character, but even still, I wanted to strangle somebody. And they also sometimes have, like, these nasally, high-pitched voices for some of their characters in English, and I'm like...
But that's like most of the Japanese voicing.
No.
They're all high-pitched.
I don't know. To me, I love the Japanese language. I love listening to it. When I first moved down here, I had severe anxiety, so what I would do is I would put Ponyo on, and I'd put it in Japanese, and I'd just kind of like half close the lid of my laptop to where the screen would turn off, and I would fall asleep listening to that. I've also, at one point in time, had like a Japanese radio, like NHK radio station on my phone, and I would listen to that, because it's just like, I love the sound of the Japanese language. It's just, to me, it is one of the most beautiful languages that
I have no issue whatsoever with Japanese language. I, in fact, would like to learn. That's a change that I actually want to understand what they're saying as they're saying it and watch the anime. Watch it like a movie or a TV show should be watched and not constantly be trained to read what's happening. Which is
understandable.
I do plenty of that. I also keep current as humanly possible with all Dragon Ball Z stuff or Dragon Ball Super, and that's the dub is so far behind at the moment that I would almost really like to go back and rewatch it with the dub because I really like the voice actors who do the characters, but I've already watched all the episodes and it's a lot to go back and rewatch all of it.
Well, see, for me, it depends how I originally started watching it. Like for me, Wolf's Rain. I love Wolf's Rain. I don't think I'd ever be able to go back and watch it in Japanese because I watched it on TV with those English voice actors.
Mm-hmm. You get used to characters with a certain voice or certain whatever.
It's the same way how you'll watch anime and be like, I know your voice, and you'll call them that character even though it's from... I grew up with Digimon. Digimon was like my thing.
Digital monsters.
And so now, as I'm watching anime, I can pick out their voices. Like, oh, there's Tai. Oh, there's Koji.
You know, there's certain characters that are, like, just like in game, there's certain voice actors that get a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I know the guy who plays Piccolo in the English voices. He does a lot of other voices, and I've heard him in other things. But I don't remember the actor's name or whatnot. But I know he's a very prominent voice actor who's been in quite a few things.
One of the main, actually the only Wisconsin anime convention that I used to go to. One of the guys from Dragon Ball Z, I want to say it was actually the narrator. He used to he was one of the main guys who always would come to No Brand Con every year. That was like his thing, is he'd always go. I can't remember his name though.
So, yes, I've heard all these actors in all their, especially Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I've heard a crap ton in Japanese, and I've heard a crap ton in English. I've heard both. It's fine, whatever. I want to keep current, so I'll watch in Japanese with subtitles.
Well, it's the same thing with Sword Art Online. I watched all that I could, and then it got to a point where it wasn't released yet. It was not dubbed yet, so I went and just watched it in Japanese because I wasn't going to wait.
Yeah, the way I ended up finding, we found a lot of the episodes was just randomly on Facebook. People was posting the episodes. Okay. So that's how we were watching the Japanese ones. Because we couldn't find them. So it's like, hey. So I'd go to my PlayStation, go to Facebook, and go find it and play it, put it up on television, and we'd watch it that way. Thank you, Facebook.
It can be handy for something, okay?
Like still in Japanese television shows.
I want to learn Japanese so bad.
I would love to learn Japanese. That's learning a language.
See,
that takes time.
For me, it's always weird to think about, like, how languages and stuff works. Like, especially when you're native to only one. Mm-hmm. It's just so weird to think about.
Well, they're structured very differently.
Well, it's not just that. It's, like, literally the concept. Like, actually physically thinking about being able to watch a TV show or listen to somebody talking to you in a language that you know for sure, like, you were not, like, raised to learn, and then being able to actually hear and understand them as though they were speaking. Like, it's a strange concept because I'm not there yet.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's difficult. A foreign language really is. It's insanely foreign. It's exotic. Yes. It's mysterious. It might as well be an alien language from another planet.
Yeah.
They're speaking to you gibberish. You don't have any idea for the most part. And it's like, well, that translates to something for sure. It's like when we were watching Arrival.
Yeah.
The whole language.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And it's like, God, I've just been raised on multiple languages.
I know. Like, that's what I wish foreign language had been encouraged and pushed more, like, earlier on in life. Because nowadays, people are learning Spanish in, like, kindergarten now. And just you have, like, access to all these different languages right off the bat, while us, it was like cursive.
Yeah, which we pretty much annihilated at this point. It almost doesn't exist.
Yeah. Now signatures are just...
Mine gets worse every year.
I can't say anything. I write letters backwards, so we're doing really well. Like, physically I write letters backwards, because apparently I write my S's weird, according to you guys. I wrote an S before, and you guys are like, what just happened? I apparently write it backwards, or from the top.
I know what you're talking about.
Either from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top, whatever is the opposite of most people. But
well, you're taught in school, for the most part, to start at the top of everything.
Oh. No, maybe I wrote it. Yeah, I think
and this is coming from the homeschooled child who didn't know anything.
Yes, I believe I started my S at the bottom, and you're like, what did you just write? But then I also write my F's backwards.
Well, whether you start an S from the top or the bottom, it still makes the same letter.
I know it does, but apparently the entire process confuses people, okay?
I don't know. I don't remember this thing ever happening, so I have no idea what you're in this little frame.
You barely remember anything, okay? You need help.
Start at the top.
You need
Start
help.
At the top. Start at the top.
Yes, I'm starting at the top. You need help. But no, I would love to learn another language. I've started, like, it got to the point where I could recognize Japanese characters. Like, not, oh, that's a Japanese character, but but no, actually tell you which one was which and how it could form, which word it would form into. But I could not translate it. So I could pick the characters out and tell you exactly what that word is, but I could not tell you then what that Japanese word is in English. So it was useless, pretty much, but
it would be awesome. But time and effort. Time.
Yeah.
Time. Something I seem to have so little of.
I don't know. Maybe I'll start incorporating that into my daily drawing. It's just at least one word from whatever language I want to learn. Because I've started learning German and I've started learning Japanese. So
Japanese is the one I'm interested in because everything I really enjoy comes from Japan. So it's like video games. A lot of them made not as much anymore. They're all over the world. There's a lot that come from Japan. And then anime is Japanese. And it's like, seems like a useful language.
Yeah.
And at some point, it will happen. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to do it. Sell my body to make money or something. But I will go to Japan at some point.
We did not promote this right there.
I mean, I'm promoting it right now. Just go work the corner. I'll get you a red light. It's fine. I got things I gotta do.
Working hard. Just be careful. Pick the right pimp. Okay, pick the right pimp.
I'm my own pimp. What are you talking about?
Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes.
Who to what? Where?
I said boats and hoes. Boats and hoes.
Oh.
So, we've gone over anime. We've gone over language.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we actually want to talk about what we've seen lately?
Let's do where we start. I don't remember exactly why anime got brought up first, but it did.
Because we were talking about other shows that you would want to do.
Yeah. You got into that somehow. Man. Down the rabbit hole. Down the long rabbit hole.
I don't know. We were talking about movie theater, like going to see movies and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I usually am really good at pinpointing the beginning of conversations. Ours, I can't seem to.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It happened. We moved in that direction. But going back, like way back. Let's see, movies. I've seen quite a bit. And you said you've seen some random stuff.
I've seen mostly old-ish stuff or stuff that is old to you guys, but I'm just now seeing because I'm late to the party.
I don't remember if I mentioned the last time we were on here. I don't remember I don't know when it came out. But Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It was decent. I think I enjoyed it more than the other horror movie that I watched recently, which was Ready or Not, which has been getting a lot of praise. It's got a good Metacritic score, and I was just like, it was fine. I felt the commercials gave too much of it away.
Oh. I don't remember anything about this movie, and I really wanted to see Scary Stories, but I haven't, so it's probably not going to happen.
So, yeah, those are the horror movies. I'm not insanely impressed by either, but they're there. Hobbs and Shaw, which was really fun in my opinion. I think I liked it more than Fast and Furious movies personally, but I really liked The Rock.
It looked like it was going to be really good. So.
I like The Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah,
they're great on screen together. Their banter was fantastic. I want to see Good Boys, but haven't. And the only other two movies would be one, The Peanut Butter Falcon.
I've heard good things.
Buff's main kind of return to film and playing in movies again after him going insane to a degree. Whatever it was that he did. But this was a really, really, really heartfelt, warm story. It's really good. It's really, really good.
As I said, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I was supposed to be like, you don't drink, but you literally just gave the look of someone who tasted a drink that was too strong.
No. It's just hair or something.
Oh, you like stopped and was like, hit, and then you're like, no, I'm good.
Who snuck in the vodka?
For trips like these, okay?
And the only other thing, of course, is It. So, what else have you seen? And then we'll talk about it.
Okay, so I have sneed The Shining. I went back and watched good old The Shining, Jack Nicholson.
I need to. I need to watch it more as an adult and actually see what the movie is.
I would definitely say the movie feels, which is weird because usually when you're a kid, everything takes forever. It seems like it's why most kids don't want to sit towards anything or through anything. But for me, this was almost the reverse. The movie felt longer than I remember it being. But still really good. Obviously the acting, you're just kind of like, this is, especially the actress that plays the mother. It's like sometimes like her acting or her lines are kind of they didn't hold up as well. But otherwise, no, I enjoyed it still. Jack Nicholson is amazing. He already looks crazy. And I think that makes it perfect. Still just kind of eerie and weird. Can't wait for Dr. Sleep to come out. I haven't read the book, but I saw the trailer for it. Let's see. I saw a random movie called Shallow Ground. Yeah. It's kind of one of those not advertised horror movies. Like, I picked it up thinking it was just going to be kind of like a B movie, and it turned out to actually be pretty interesting. It was about a small town that, because of a overpass or something that was built, a dam was built, everyone's pretty much leaving town because there's no point in staying there anymore. Nothing goes through there. And this kid just randomly appears out of the woods, just covered in blood, and just walks into a police station. So they're trying to figure out what this kid's doing there. But
yeah.
I finally watched Overlord.
I liked Overlord.
I did too. Like, I went into it not really expecting, like, I don't know what I was expecting really, but I think I was just expecting a weird hack and slash fighting against mutant movie, but it actually turned out pretty decent.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Other than that, I think that's about it. As far as random movies that I've seen. Unless you count Mission of the Sharks.
Mission of the Sharks.
Or Mission of the Shark. It's about the USS Indianapolis.
Prequel to Sharknado.
No. Which is actually... This chair is going to drive me insane, okay?
Yeah,
this chair is broken. The little flappy flap. Okay.
It is.
Anyways. It's about the USS Indianapolis, which to this day, I believe in Guinness Book of World Records, is still the largest shark attack, or like the worst shark attack that's ever happened. And it's pretty much about a ship that, of course, got hit by a Japanese submarine and was left out for the people that survived were literally sitting in the water for like 5 days because no one knew they had wrecked. No one knew that they did not even make it to port. So they were left out there for 5 days until someone happened to fly over. Yeah, and they were attacked by sharks the entire time. So out of the, I don't know how many thousands of people who were on the boat, I think 300 survived. So, overall movie quality-wise, the movie was interesting. I actually liked it in the movie. It had the guy who played older Bill in the original It. Guy with glasses and like the mole on his... Yeah. But, can you picture him?
Which It?
The original It.
Oh, I don't remember.
Played adult Bill, had the ponytail and the glasses and the... Okay. Anyway, so he was in that movie.
Okay.
But I watched it because I thought it was going to be a shark movie. Obviously, it's about a shark attack, so I was like, yeah! They used real sharks, like footage of real sharks, but the problem is they used the same footage, like, over again.
Well, just be happy it wasn't screenshots they stayed on for a second or two.
Well,
could have gotten that.
It was
Sure! It's coming at it!
It's close. But no, it like, kind of used the same stock footage of sharks, like, circling near the surface. And you could tell when it attacked somebody, like when it attacked a person or a bunch of them attacked a person, it was just footage of sharks, like, in a frenzy over, like, fish or something like that. But yeah, it was just funny because it'd be like, you'd see the fin, which you could tell was a fake fin, but you'd see the fin, and then it would just cut to that footage, and you would see a bunch of sharks just going like this, and then people would be screaming, and then...
So this movie was made for $5,000.
But no, overall, it was actually a pretty decent older film. So I would say I enjoyed watching it.
Alrighty then.
But that's about it. Besides it.
Yeah, it. Chapter 2.
For all you that just clicked on this one just for this, we're sorry we put you through that.
Well, they didn't get this far. I promise.
Clickbait.
I mean, it will be talked about, and it will be on the thumbnail because I think it has to be. But it will be sitting along some kind of an anime character because that was the bulk of the show.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't intentional, but it was.
We promised we didn't do this as clickbait. We originally were just going to go over a couple things and then hit it, and that would be probably the main portion of the show because it's the big new thing that's going on. But then anime somehow just snuck its way in and then just segued the entire stuff in that direction.
Yeah, that's what we did. That was what was in the box today.
Anime jumped out of it. Never mind, I'm not going to finish that sentence. Anyways, it too.
It.
Do we want to do this like our normal reviews, top level?
I mean, I can't tell. Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Top level feelings.
Maybe don't spoil it immediately
in
case someone hasn't gone and seen it. I mean, it's only been out by the time this comes out a week.
Yeah.
So maybe don't spoil it.
So, top level feelings about It Chapter 2.
It wasn't as good as the first one.
No.
That is my top level feeling. It was not as good as the first one.
No, it
But I don't know if it could be.
I don't know.
Because for me, personally, I just think the kids in the town is just more entertaining, period, than the adults. And there were some great adult actors.
Yes.
But they still were not as entertaining as the kids.
I think it's the same feeling like with the original one. Like, when you get to it, the concept of a story of kids in a town having to deal with bullies to the extreme, having to deal with this creature that's literally feasting on kids. So this is literally a direct problem for these kids because they're next on the menu. But also being in a town where adults literally don't see. Like, they see and ignore everything as though it doesn't exist. Like, in both the old one and the new one, as far as the first parts. Him getting his stomach cut on. Ben getting his stomach cut on by Henry Bowers. And people witnessing this and not doing anything about it. It's like, that is terrifying in itself for a child, let alone having a killer clown chasing you. But then when you get to the adults, it's like just adults in a town
it doesn't have the same lore.
Trying to relive their childhood kind of thing.
The first movie, it has the same feeling like The Goonies or something. For whatever reason, like Sandlot. There's something entertaining about watching really good child actors in these situations.
Yes.
I mean, it's why Stranger Things is so good. I mean, that's building off these movies. It's taking those concepts and bringing it to a modern television show. It's just that is more entertaining. I even felt that the bits that all the flashbacks in the movie
Yeah.
were more entertaining than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I just liked watching the kids. Of course, if you could tell that they shot new footage for this movie.
Yes.
New footage with the same child actors, but used the de-aging technology to make them look like they did in the original movie. And you could tell, for the most part.
And there was also scenes where they picked the same scene but changed it. Because I had this problem with old TV shows. Old, like especially sometimes old anime as well. Sorry guys, one moment. Is they'd have a section, they'd cut to a commercial, and when they came back from the commercial, they would relive the past like 5-10 seconds before the commercial, except the dialogue would be different. And so they did the same thing in this movie where you could tell it was supposed to be the same scene, but the dialogue was different. Like, they said something different or they moved a different direction from the first one. And you're like, I know you did something. I know you did something different. But yeah.
But I felt still that the scenes with the children was more entertaining than the adult scenes. I felt that the first one, personally, was scarier than this one. I felt it was more iconic how they used things, the creepiness, the creatures that we saw. I thought all of it was done better in the first one. I just don't. This one was still enjoyable. I liked it. It's just I didn't feel it wasn't as good.
I think there's also a thing about, especially shows that center around children getting into these kind of situations, is that you remember your childhood. Like, you're kind of vicariously living your childhood back through them. And also, like, you remember the small weird fears that you used to have, or you just remember the situations you used to have with friends and everything like that. So seeing that played out in front of you through these kids and having them in this terrifying situation, like me, personally, the original It's were creepy to me, at least the first part, because I grew up with that. I grew up walking to the other side of the street to avoid sewer drains because I was afraid Pennywise was going to be reaching out. Okay, I was done. But when you get to the adults, you have, I guess, less sympathy for them in a way. You're just like, they're just grown-ups. They're just, like, even though some of them are supposed to be either the same age or older or a little older or whatever, you're just kind of like, you're gonna go fight a clown. Woo! You expect them to have more strength because they're older. But seeing these kids, like, band together as a group, these, you wouldn't call them weak kids, but I mean, of course, they're facing a creature. So, of course, meek. They're a little meek compared to this big, gigantic thing. Compared to adults, where you expect them to have a certain level of strength. You expect them to be able to think around different situations. And so I think you have less sympathy. And then also, the situations that they put the adults through were kind of just like, I'm sure you can handle it. Like, compared to the kids. Sorry, I just have a problem with, like, I have a problem with saliva, so having lepers and stuff, like, spill spit and gunk and all that kind of stuff on people, that's cringy to me.
So what we're saying is 0 companion cubes out of 5 is what we're saying.
No! Bad! No, not at all, not at all. I actually, compared to most people I've been hearing, because I know a couple people who have also seen it, that were just like, I know my sister thought it was stupid. She hated it. She didn't even like the first one, though. Like, she didn't like the first part.
Why did she watch the second part then?
Because it had James McAvoy in it. And also because she had to see it because she saw the first one. So.
But you don't, if you didn't like it.
She had to see it.
I really hated that cucumber. I'll make a second one. Okay? Go ahead.
She had to see if it would get any better, pretty much. Plus, because she also grew up with the original one, she wanted to see how close it was, that kind of thing. It's kind of a comparison stuff.
Still weird. I hated the first one. I'm watching Sam Joe edit it again.
But, overall, I would say out of the people I've talked to, I've had a higher opinion of it. I enjoyed it as a movie. To me,
it was still enjoyable.
To me, these movies, the original It was horrifying to me. It was scary. Like nowadays, I watch it and it's still creepy, but it's not the same fear I used to have.
You're a child.
Yes, exactly. Also clowns, but I'm over.
Clowns are awesome.
I'm over it now. Okay, I
Awesome.
worked with clowns. Okay, I painted a clown's face. I'm fine with clowns now, except happy clowns. Happy clowns are weird. Scary clowns with sharp, pointy teeth I can deal with now. Ronald McDonald can stay over there. Okay. Anyway, but these ones are more like unsettling. I guess I would say is the word. They're not scary movies. They're unsettling. Just the situations these people get put in, just the certain movements characters, like especially Pennywise makes. It's unsettling. I wouldn't say it's scary. I maybe jumped once, maybe twice, but otherwise, I need to crawl under a bed.
The first one was scarier. I think the things they had in the first one was scarier.
Everything.
We're going to spoilers. No, just go away. Come back. I feel like we'll talk about more. I don't know. Yeah. We actually haven't been going as long as I thought we had. I don't know. We're going to talk about spoilers. So
Either way, it is worth going to see. It was definitely worth watching.
Scrub through the video. When this M&M bag isn't here anymore, we're done with spoilers.
What?
Bada boom, bada bang. So when M&M bag disappears, there's no more spoilers.
Oh, okay.
So you can scrub through the video. Oh, the bag's gone. They must be done with spoilers.
Whatever he just said, I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's what's going to happen. The spoilers.
So you're going to talk spoilers until the bag empties. Is that what you're saying?
It's just going to disappear in a second.
Oh, okay.
Whenever we're done with spoilers.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it.
So.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. Spoilers are done.
Out front. So you can see.
So go watch the movie and then feel like coming back.
Yeah, like coming back.
I'm developing a stutter. This is going great.
It could be like what? I forget which one it was. Bill? Not Bill. No, it's not Bill.
It is.
Bill's not the one with it.
Yes.
I don't remember their names.
Billy Boy. Yeah.
I don't remember their names.
Because he's like Billy Boy. At least that was in the original one. I don't know about this one.
I don't know.
You know what? I kind of wish they would have. It was in the book, like actually explained in the book, and they threw it in more to the original movie, whatever you want to call it. And I wish they kind of maybe would have touched on it in this in this rendition of it. Is beep beep. Them saying beep beep Richie. Because the only one who said it in the first movie was Pennywise, and he said it once. And then in this second one, it was, I believe, Beverly, who said beep beep Richie. And it's something that randomly thrown in there unless you've seen the original one or unless you've read the book. It's just kind of like, what does that even mean? So I would kind of wish they would have explored that more.
They did different things. We didn't explore the giant turtle creating the universe, but we...
we also didn't explore a major part that's never going to make it to any film ever, so we're good with that.
There's only so much you can do.
No, this is never, ever going to make it to film. Ever. It never should be. Ever. Okay. If you read the book, you would understand.
Well, I know something happens in the book at the end of the first movie that should have happened that didn't happen. So unless you're talking about that, unless you're talking about something different.
You said that happened... Okay, say that one more time slower.
Originally happened in the end of the kids' part. That they did put in the book and they changed. That's what you're referring to.
Yes. That's it.
I'm very aware.
100%. That's what I'm talking about. As I said, never going to see the light of day.
Yeah, I know, never. But we got more from the book in this than we did originally, in the original one. we got like how old Pennywise is. They focus a lot more on the dead lights than they did in the original.
Yes.
You got, of course, this weird box thing that they were supposed to try to trap Pennywise in that totally didn't work at all.
I have to reread the book.
Because I actually thought it was going to work. I'm like, oh, so this is how they're going to do it. Nope. Not even a little bit. No. No, we still got giant spider crab-looking Pennywise.
Yep. I did like that in the book, of course, the whole Bowers attacking them thing was different. Like, this is closer to what it was than Mike getting attacked in the first one. Because Eddie got stabbed through the face.
Yeah.
Which was it? To me, that was funny. Like, they made it funny, okay? They turned it into a comedy right then. And I was like, that's fine. Like, for me, which a lot of people are having problems with, I had no issues with this movie making me laugh. Like, I was like, I don't care. It
the
made
first
it
one was
entertaining.
funny.
Yeah.
The first one was really funny. Also has some horror moments.
Yeah.
But these are horror comedies.
Yeah.
That's what these are. They're meant to be funny. They've made them very funny. And I think this led like the first one did. It was a funny movie.
Yeah.
It also had horror elements into it, but it was a funny movie.
Yes. Which I think this time around was a good take. Because humor, like, the original movies were meant to just terrify you, to unsettle you, to make you cringe, to make you paranoid. And I liked that. Like, I enjoyed it because that fit that era. And nowadays, it's better to have a little humor mixed in.
No, everything's adding humor. Because it gets so much further.
Yes.
People like to laugh. Period. I mean, that's all the Marvel movies are now. They're action movies, but action comedies. Because everybody likes laughing. And the ones that are funnier tend to do better.
So I will admit that I laughed I laughed so hard during this movie. Like, throughout the movie, it made me chuckle. And at one point in time, the theater got super quiet, and one of the actors said something. I can't remember which line it was, but I think maybe it's because it was like a nod to one of the originals or to the book or something, and I lost it. I like chuckled so loud, and it just was like super quiet in the theater, and I was like,
So, I don't know. Again, this movie, I don't know. It wasn't as enjoyable as the first one.
I agree.
I liked it. I liked the ending. The Three Doors was pretty darn funny. Especially when they opened up on that Pomeranian.
That almost got spoiled for me because of Instagram. Because recently, someone I follow, I don't know if maybe you follow them too. It is the I can't remember what her actual, or their actual, I don't really know who they are. But I don't remember what their actual tag is, but their bio is Satanic Lisa Frank. So they do like really colorful stuff, but most of it has like a dark theme to it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things they recently did was a Pomeranian. It was like a really cute Pomeranian. It says not scary at all. And I was like, and then in their description and stuff, it said, you guys should definitely go see It Part 2 and like hashtag. And I was like, what does this fucking have to do with anything? And then as soon as I was watching the movie and they said, he's like, why can't he be a puppy? Or he's like, let's see what his true form is. And he's like, I hope it's a puppy. He's like a Pomeranian. I was like, I know it. And then
the Three Doors, the last one, and it's just this little cute little Pomeranian. I'm like, oh my god! The whole theater got a great one out of that. That was great. Of course, then it turned into a terrifying demon dog, but it was.
See, here's the thing: is I really almost wish I would have been able to see it one of the opening nights. The same thing with what is the other movie that I saw it. I think it was Endgame, seeing it a second time with the theater pretty much empty, or like not as many people, is I almost wish I could have seen it like one of the opening nights to have that feeling, that shared feeling. Because yes, there were people in the theater with us. And of course we did have our little line, but there wasn't as much reaction. as I would have liked.
God, the Three Doors was funny. That was a very, very funny bit. But I mean, all that was added. I mean, none of this was in the original. The Three Doors were in the original. Home dude and the girl splitting up into two separate doors and fighting their own demons to come back together. Wasn't in the original.
Not at all. None of this was.
Then we get Billy down in the water and seeing Georgie again and then killing both of them. I was like, oh, buddy. You killed both of them. You killed Georgie and then you killed yourself.
Yes. First you drowned your little brother after shooting him in the head in the first one. Just throwing that out there. And then now you pretty much kill yourself by telling yourself it's okay, we're not at fault. And then... But I did like the fun house scene. All the mirrors and stuff like that. I felt like that was an actually really cool... just a really cool scene. Mirrors are always creepy as far as like.
Of course, we got to see the scene with the old lady again.
Oh God! I want to say that the old lady, like this lady, was, as I said, unsettling. But the original lady that they used, like in the original It, was creepier. Like just her talking, and as she's talking, you can see her. Like, each time she takes a sip of her tea, like, her mouth starts to get worse, like, her teeth and stuff start to get rotted out. And then, of course, like, Beverly realizing her cup's just full of blood and then freaking out. And the old lady being like, oh, no, I can clean that up. It's just like, that was friggin' creepy.
Well, I think the old lady was, in my opinion, one of the better creatures we saw in the movie. How they did her. I also thought it was funny that... Because we got to see this scene. It was one of the trailers. Multiple times. The first time was like one of the... was a trailer, but it actually showed the old lady walking behind. Where she was naked. But when I resaw the trailer in a different movie, they had put... I guess they had put like just bra and panties on the old lady as she passed by. You could tell they dressed her a little bit. I assume either it was a different rating for the movie they were showing it, or maybe some people complained about seeing the old lady. I don't know which, but they were different things.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But that whole scene is really creepy, and her just always in the back. You see her in the background seeing things, and then she's undressed at the one point. It's like, what is this? Is crazy.
See, I completely agree. That scene was just like it was. And
then 15-foot naked gray hair coming out.
I didn't like that.
Well, that's what I was saying. In my opinion, I think that was one of the better creatures. The version of her, I thought was one of the better creatures we saw in the movie.
I don't know. I didn't really care for her. It's just, to me, like, it's not really the state of her, like, oh my goodness, it was because it was a naked lady. No, it was just, I didn't like the way they made her look. Like, it was just, I don't know. It was almost a little too over the top for me as far as... like what she could have looked like. She just looked like a slimline creature. Like they didn't really give her any texture or anything like that to her.
I think my issue with a lot of the creatures in this, and I don't remember having the issue in the original movie, but I did in this one. I felt that some of the creatures, some of the things felt too CG.
Yes, and that was my problem.
Because I would have liked to have seen something a little more practical.
Yes.
Because practical effects have a certain look, and they have a certain horror-ish look when you do them right, where it's hard to get the same look with CG.
Yeah.
Because like her, I agree. I liked her a lot more than you did.
Yeah.
But I think doing something more practical in some manner, I think what was it? Even like I felt like the Pomeranian original Transformer was a lot more practical effect. Yeah. And he looked a lot more terrifying and horror-y than she did.
As I said, like it's because with that creature, they added the texture behind it. Like you could see the layers with it, even even CGI or whatever. It had more feeling to it. While the textures that they gave her were very slimline, all one color, and it's just like it wasn't as scary. Like give her some like open wounds or something. Give her something, but no, she was just streamlined.
Yeah. They could have done a better job with her. I don't disagree with that.
But no, otherwise, yeah, she was terrifying. Like, it's just old ladies in general. But, what I did like is one of my favorite ones as far as just like transitions or minorly horror effects was when they have Bill Skarsgård, who is Pennywise, when they have him aged to be older, to be non-makeup, and he's sitting there talking to her, and then he goes like this and starts carving out, carving out all his red lines and stuff like that. I thought that was amazing. I loved that part.
Oh, it looked cool. It looked really cool.
Yeah. It was a great transition as far as, like, because, I mean, first you have this older gentleman, which, I mean, he's not really old, but, I mean, this older gentleman just sitting there talking to you, and as he's doing that, he's just smearing this white paint all over his face, and then just out of nowhere just starts slicing just over his eyes, and then it's starting to bleed and just turn into what we know as Pennywise.
I don't know. There's certain type of horror movies that I like. I've gone over this multiple times.
Yeah.
Horror movies, I don't know. I just can't seem to find horror movies I'm like, I really enjoy. Well, I thought the first It was really, really good.
Yeah.
I like horror movies that will tell you a good story, but also are scary. And it's hard to find horror movies that want to do both. That aren't only there like, what kind of shock value can we really give? And just try really hard on that. Well, like that scene with him carving the scar, it was really cool and really well done. That I would like to see more practical, that type of effects through the rest of the movie. And we didn't get that a lot through the rest of the movie. And I think that was to its detriment. But I think that's, to me, again, a lot of horror movies. I can't find a good horror movie to save my life. Where some people will watch any horror movie and be fine with it, like Michael.
But as far as it goes, like, to me, how I feel in comparison between the two is, you, as I said, you really felt for the kids. You felt what they were going through, their fear, everything like that. And of course, this strange creature was literally targeting every single fear and breaking them up and stuff like that. And just them trying to band together. Meanwhile, when they're adults, it was literally like, I felt like they were more cowards when they were adults than when they were children. Like, literally every other scene was them trying to get away. Like, or missing each other, or like just leaving and then coming back. And it was just like, in the original, It, yes, they had a moment where they're like, okay, it's time to get out of Dodge, we're leaving. But eventually it's like they all...
It's probably nothing.
Okay, we were just talking about horror movies and then your dog did that and I'm a little worried now. But no, I mean, like, in the original It movies, when they got to their older scenes, the draw, the sense that they had this purpose and they had to be there was stronger in that one than it was this. And that was a main part of the book, is that Derry has this connection thing where it's like, once you started to remember stuff, everything flooded back, and then those feelings started flooding back, and then of course as you leave Derry, that starts to disappear again, because that was one of the main themes of the book as well, is that once they left Derry again, they started forgetting everything. And while this one, I think they wanted to keep it as them remembering a lot of it.
Look, this was more, hey, you defeated the evil.
Yeah.
And even they kind of said at the end, it was like, I think because we have more happy memories now. Things we want to remember versus trying to forget everything about Derry. Which I personally liked that.
Yes.
I hate when you forget stuff.
Yeah.
We'll go
your name.
over that. There's your name. There's the Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my least favorite things about the entire series, is that particular instance.
Me too.
But what I was going to say is that I felt in the first one, the original It movies, but I can't remember. Yeah. It's been a while. The kid that killed himself,
Stanley. Yeah.
They made it seem in this one, which I think in the original, that him killing himself was purposely done to try to make sure they stayed in Derry. They were doing it for him.
Yeah.
But that almost didn't come. That was not shown in this movie at all, except in the end.
Yeah.
When he specifically said it.
Yes.
But that was never mentioned earlier. The characters never showed they were staying for Stanley.
No.
Stanley just said, "I did it so everyone would stay together." I don't think that happened at all.
No.
I think you did it for no reason at all because your characters never showed that they did it for that reason.
Well,
and I think that was a mistake in this one because I agree. If he killed himself for that, I wish they would have shown, "Hey, we're going to stick it out for Stanley." Anything.
That's not what his letter said.
He said.
No, his letter said that in order for us to defeat Pennywise, we all had to be united, and I knew I wouldn't be.
Yeah, he said that, but he also said.
Okay, I don't remember
He said
that then.
both.
I don't know. His main reason was, though, is that if he were to have been there, he would have messed things up for them. He would have gotten scared and left, and so they wouldn't have been as strong. So he took himself out of the equation, and that was his main reason for doing what he did.
Well, I also true that he did it so they would be more strongly united because he killed himself.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Again, I thought that was more. I thought that was specifically stated in the original movies. But again, I don't remember. It's been a while since.
What, the original?
Yes, the original movies.
No, it was not. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, he literally killed himself, and then there was a message written in blood. And then when they...
But I thought they had said they were doing it for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes.
What I'm saying is that in the original movie, they said they were going to do it for him. And this one, I felt like he said he wanted to do it so they would stay together, but they never specifically mentioned they were doing it for him. Okay, forgetting. He was forgotten most of the movie.
Yeah. Literally.
I wish I would have...
Which is sad because it literally happened. They're like when they're sitting there at the thing, drinking and stuff like that, and all of a sudden one of them's like, "Oh, Stanley, when is he gonna be there?" And it's like, you guys didn't realize he was missing this entire time. And then like throughout the movie, one of them does even say like, "Oh, that's right, Stanley." It's like I almost forgot him again because like when he pulls out the hairnet or whatever.
It just seems like he wasn't... In this movie, he was not important at all. And I felt like they should have made him a little more important. He was a huge, important piece in the first movie, and he should be an important piece of the group and everything. And I really felt that should have been focused on a little more. Let's pretend that your other friend did exist.
And see, that's the thing. I wish they would have merged the concepts because I really do... like his explanation of why he killed himself. Because in the originals, you don't get that. He literally just kills himself. And actually, they don't find out until way after when they get to the library. Like, they're all just sitting there joking, talking around, like, at a library. And then, out of nowhere, he calls him. He's like, "Oh, yeah, let's go. Like, let's get Stan on the phone, blah, blah, blah." And then calls, and then that's when they find out. And then his head appears in the fridge talking to them. But it's like, I wish they would have combined the concepts, because I like the fact that we do have a reason behind him killing himself, besides, he couldn't do it, he was too scared, or Pennywise pushed him to, or something like that. But at the same time, I like that he was more important. Like, he was a part of their core group in the beginning, so he should still be that important to them.
Yes. And I wish there was a driving factor for why they would want to stay in Derry, why they would want to defeat the clown. At least them believing it was because of the clown, giving them more reason to stick in band.
And literally, I think the only reason, like... See, that's what agitates me now that you brought it up, is because... the original movies, that was like their sense of purpose, their sense of, we gotta do this so no one else dies. We gotta do this because no one else is going to. We gotta do this for Stanley. That was like power driven into the entire movie. Meanwhile, this one, I think the only reason why they end up even going to find Pennywise and killing him is because through different weaves of things happening to them, they're all like, okay, we got to take care of this, otherwise we're going to be crazy for the rest of our lives. I felt like
they were drawn for other reasons, randomly strange other reasons.
Like,
there was no central force to why they should be doing it.
Like Billy randomly going after that kid, them all trying to go after him, like just the whole Bauer thing, and then Mike wanting to do the ritual, stuff like that. Like, it was just all random things instead of the pull of Derry, which is what the original one.
Them trying to do the right thing. Them trying to do it for Stanley. Them trying to, like, a good central pull that the whole group could get behind.
Yes.
that felt more powerful than the randomness that this movie brought.
I don't know. But as I said, it was a enjoyable movie.
It was so
enjoyable,
yes.
Yeah. But it's...
And it did not.
I'm sure I'll see it again, but it's just...
At some point.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch them back to back.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like a 3-hour movie.
No.
So that's good news. I was able to get through the whole movie and that didn't feel like 3 hours at all. That was actually... So, I'd like to see more. But I think the kids are the biggest draw of the movie.
And I think that's because, like you said, it has to do with the whole Goonies feel, the whole kids banding together to fight something bigger than they are, to go against something bigger than they are, even when adults are because in the Goonies and stuff, the adults are they're trying to solve the adult problems.
The only way the movie would have worked better for the adults is if Pennywise would have gotten bigger and scarier.
Yeah.
Then it would make it seem like the adults really had something to face. Mm-hmm. But he didn't. He didn't feel bigger and scarier. He felt less scary in this movie than he did in the first movie.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. Had he felt a bigger presence, a more terrifying creature, something that was so much more horrifying this time he came back, to make us feel like there was something for those adults to be scared of, it would have had a bigger...
Which is probably one of my least favorite parts of the movie, is when he does get bigger and they're like, oh, there's more than one way to make a person feel small, and then literally just start insulting him to smallness.
I liked him shrinking, though.
The concept, yes. The concept of him getting smaller, yes. But literally these adults walking towards a clown, you're a bully. It was a little much for me. It was just I understand the concept they were going for as far as there's a way to make a person feel small.
Would have worked better if it was kids doing it.
Yes.
It doesn't work as well seeing adults do it.
Because we literally, in the first one, got a movie about kids literally beating the crap out of a clown with chains and pipes and a baseball bat. And then you move to adults going after the same clown with insults.
Yeah.
The power of insults. And so I was just twitch.
But I loved how it looked when he shrank.
Yes, I did too.
I love that effect of him being this little gooey little baby creature thing.
Yeah. No, that was fine. That was fine. I enjoyed seeing
and then
Pennywise the Blob.
The guy going to reach for me, and then he rips his arm off. It's oh god. So I liked that, but yeah.
But yeah, just because it's even the insults they came up with was you're mean, you're a bully, you're never gonna amount to anything. It's god damn. Is this an intervention or what are we doing?
So it could have been better.
Yeah,
could have been better.
But overall, I am happy with all four. I'm happy with. I like the first two. I like the second two. I don't know. And of course I like the books, so I think they all fit into their own eras. This was a good rendition for newer generations.
I just need a real scary movie.
What is your goal? Are you trying to scream? Are you trying to be paranoid?
Maybe I would love to be paranoid. That'd be great. Give me something that actually was scary enough for me to be paranoid about.
Yeah.
That would be great. Actually, something I feel is actually scary. Because again, I saw Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark, which are concepts about it. The issue with it is that it was very much a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
So it felt like a PG-13 movie.
Which some of those stories are creepy. Reading the books and stuff like that.
But books are different.
Yes.
Books, you have your imagination to fill out all the gaps. Oh, we're done with it.
Oh.
We're back!
Welcome back, guys. We're now talking about scary stories, apparently.
Yeah. But the things they had in that was cool. But again, like you said, books, you have your imagination to fill in and change and do whatever. Movies, you're getting a visual representation. You can only do so much with PG-13. I have a huge issue with PG-13 horror movies because generally they're not very good because you are limited on what you can do.
Yes.
And you're limited on how scary you can be. I didn't know what Scary Stories was, and then when we got into the movie, I'm like, this is PG-13, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crap. Now, I like good, really just super hard R horror movies. Do any and everything you want to do. I want you to have no restrictions and be as terrifying as you think you can make something. I don't want restrictions, and it's hard to find good horror movies. At least when there's an R attached to it, it's like there's an opportunity here.
There's hope.
There's hope that maybe it's going to be scary.
Which fun side note. There we go. My sister had mentioned that with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, that the contortionist from AGT.
Mm-hmm. He was in it.
Yep. They made a role specifically for him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
You can tell easily which creature he has in it. Even in the trailers, you can tell.
Mr. Jingles, I think that Andrew said it was Mr. Jingles.
Yeah, I think so.
Something
So
like that.
again, I feel if Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark would have been rated R, it actually would have been a pretty cool movie. Mm-hmm. Because some of the creatures they came up with were really cool, but make that into an R, whoo, buddy, they could have been terrifying. But I like creatures. I like good, cool creatures. And a lot of the horror movies we get these days don't have creatures in them.
Yeah.
Like you look again, like Ready or Not. There's no creatures in that. And then you like almost any popular horror movie you can think of. What creatures are there? Half the time there's there's a doll. It moves around.
Dolls are terrifying when I was little. Okay. But dolls, like if we go back to like Puppet Master and actually dolls, yes, that was terrifying.
What I'm saying is that the horror movies we get now are very low budget, so long as they're halfway successful, they make money and they just keep making them. They're going more for psychological thriller and less about horror movies with awesome, cool creatures like Hellraiser and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god, Hellraiser was twisted. Like the Hellraisers. Oh my god.
What I'm saying is
like, every time I picture Hellraiser, well, first, of course, picture Pinhead. You always picture Pinhead.
Well, he is the face of.
But the other thing I picture is the lady and the skin, or like her skin peeling. Like
I don't think I've ever actually seen a full Hellraiser movie.
I can't remember if she peeled her own skin off, or if someone peeled her skin off, or. I don't remember. All I know is there was a lady with her flesh being literally flayed off, or melted off. I don't know. It was.
Again, that's where great practical effects come in. Because I was way too chicken to watch it as a kid. I could not. It was way too terrifying. As a child, I could not watch Hellraiser. We watched I could watch Freddy and Jason, but Hellraiser was crossing the line. I could not do it. I think we saw like one scene and it's like, no, this isn't happening.
The Candyman was unsettling too.
Oh God.
I miss that though. I miss being able to say that. And obviously it comes with being a child.
Yes.
But it's like still, I miss being able to say that about movies. Like that movie literally scared me. That movie made me paranoid. Like when I originally watched it, the fact that when I took showers and stuff, I had to stay away from the drain because I was like, nope, I can't do this. Someone's going to be popping out of that thing. I'm not handling this well. Or just like dolls and Puppet Master being like worried that my toys and stuff were coming to life while I was sleeping. Or just porcelain dolls in general because they're creepy. Yeah.
But I want those horror movies. I want to be scared of something.
Yeah.
But most horror movies I go into and I felt like, well, this is either one, boring, or two, okay, you're trying to be paranoid, but you're not doing a great job. Like when I watched The Witch.
Yeah.
It got such high praise, and I watched like, well, this. Oh, sure, the last 5 minutes were interesting, but other than that, the rest of the movie was just really, really boring.
Yeah.
I was very, very disappointed.
I was too.
Ready or Not, I mean, it's got good. It was a decently fun movie. It wasn't a horror movie by no means. I don't know. It's just hard to get good, really, really good horror movies. I don't even know the last one.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the last one I watched. Offhand, I can't remember. Like the last one that I was like...
I just want to be scared. I want something to be terrifying.
I forgot what I watched recently, but I made the mistake of drinking a bunch of coffee right beforehand. So I was just like, I was paranoid. I was like extremely paranoid while I was watching it. Like I was like, nope, I can't do this. And the only time that happened before that was I stayed up all night from like 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. drinking coffee, and then decided it would be a great idea to throw in a horror movie and watch it. And it was like disappearing on whatever street. 34th Street. I'll throw out a number because I can't remember what it is. But it's pretty much about a movie where it seems like a ghost town, and it's because people are literally just disappearing like that. I think they have to... It's not the one where they have to stay in the light, but it's a general concept like that. And...
Which one was that?
I can't remember.
There's a movie. No,
yeah,
no, not the light movie. I'm not talking about that. It reminded me of something different.
Oh, no, because there is a movie where they have to stay in the light, otherwise this, like, invisible creature or whatever, like, literally turns them to ash. Like... That was actually a pretty good one, too. I liked that one. Most people didn't. I don't know why.
I'm thinking it might be Jeepers Creepers. Maybe like
the
very first one. I'm thinking there was some... I can't remember what movie it was, but I remember it being like... I remember it actually being scary.
Yeah.
It was some kind of... What the creature was like some kind of giant cockroach that was mimicking... Maybe it was called Mimic. It was Mimic. I'm thinking Mimic.
Yes.
I'm thinking Mimic. Yes.
You said it, and you're like, yep, that's it.
When I said Mimic King, I'm like, no, it's Mimic.
Yep.
It's Mimic. We're watching Mimic for the first time was scary.
Old creature features and sci-fi movies and just...
But creatures. I mean, the creatures are cool and scary. Where most, like, I don't care for, like, the Texas Chainsaw or Leather... that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Where the villains are just crazy people. Like, that's not really scary. Okay, they're crazy people.
Yeah.
And I guess to some people, normal humans being that terrible is scary.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I want something more interesting. But I'm also, I as we've talked about a lot, love Death and Robots.
Yeah.
That's my genre describes any and everything that I love about the genres. Love Death and Robot. I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
I love things that are not real. Things that are way beyond the imagination. Things that are crazy and science fiction and futuristic. That's where I like to lie things. I think that's why I like creatures and stuff. It's things that are just... It's not remotely close to realistic, but they're really cool. In other words, I like bigger creatures and kaijus and stuff along those lines. I love the creatures.
I'm a huge creature feature fan. Besides, like, the cheesy ones that they're coming out with as far as, like, Sharknado and blah, 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 blah. I hate that crap. But no, like, even if you want to go realistic creatures, but still, like, on a different scale, I love Lake Placid.
Oh, good. I remember loving Lake Placid.
I just... Giant alligator. You have Betty White being the old lady. The awesome...
A long time since Lake Placid.
I can't remember where I've seen the one guy from, but just a movie about a giant alligator, about as basic as you can get.
But again, that's where you have to get, if you're telling a scary story, you have to try to make an interesting story.
Yes.
Where most times these B movies they're not even trying. Oh, there's a scary thing. It's going to attack and kill people. That's your plot. Oh, wonderful. Yay.
Now, talk about a movie that you would think would make no sense, or it would be like, this is why are we watching this, but The Blob. Okay.
I've never seen The Blob, so I can't comment on that.
God. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, even though it is just a big pink thing of pretty much acid, it's like, it's still eerie. Like, it's just, it comes out of nowhere. I mean, it still has that cheesy, old school, like, effects to it, but it was still, like you said, practical effects. It was just the makeup and stuff they did, like, I don't think it was like the original Blob, but one of the renditions after that, they have like someone getting their face melted off by this, and it's like literally you can see everything as it happens.
Like Indiana Jones melting, or
I can't really compare the two, but it's like literally you can see the dude's face, you can see his cheeks and stuff coming down, his eyeballs coming out, everything. Like, it's just everything in your face.
Practical effects can go so... There's something special, and no matter what, till the end of time, will always be something special about practical effects. CG is awesome. It's amazing what we can do with CG. We do some insanely cool things with CG. Now, if mixing CG with practical, you can do anything, and it can look beautiful. Because mixing them, I think, can go 10 times further than either of them can go by themselves.
And I think you need to find that balance.
There's a balance there. There's a very good balance. Because there's practical makes it feel more real.
Yeah.
It always will. It always has. I mean, there are occasions that CG can do some amazing things, but most of the time, something practical really goes a long way.
See, this is a very, very, like, streamlined, off-the-top kind of example. But say you have an actor, and you say you have a cut on their face, and there's blood dripping down, and you want to show that they're healing, so you bring the blood back up and the cut closing. Okay. So you can do that with actual makeup effects, and then just either reverse the image or do CGI and have the blood be CGI and then go back in. But if you do the actual cut with CGI and the blood and everything, it just takes away from it. It doesn't feel as real. No matter how good your CGI is,
Another great
have
example.
the same.
Look at the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
Then look at the Hobbit movies. They have a wildly different feel to them.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, a lot of practical things. They were actually fighting these costumed creatures.
Yeah.
Where in The Hobbit, all those same creatures were now green screen and just CG'd in. And they don't have the same feel, the same look, the same movement. It just isn't the same.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I enjoy both, but I can understand
both.
That. Yeah.
But I'm saying just looking at it. Just the visual appeal of watching both. If you watch Lord of the Rings, most, if not almost all of it, is all so much practical effects and people in costumes. And then a lot of what's in The Hobbit, those same villains are now CG'd.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, nope, that's not quite working for me. I know you're trying hard, but it was probably cheaper to CG everything than it was to practical effect it.
Yeah.
But the practical effect has a certain look, and it just feels and acts more real.
I love special makeup effects, though. That's why I'm saddened by everything nowadays. Is because more and more people who are in the special makeup effects industry are there on set to literally touch up like bruise makeup and stuff like that, not to do the really cool things they used to be able to do. Or even if they are there to make the really cool stuff, it's maybe for like one scene, and then we'll CGI the rest. Don't worry about it.
Well, the thing is, there needs to be a good balance. Because the balance can give you the best of both worlds. You have to have a cool base with practical effects and work with that. One, it gives actors more to actually work with and visualize and see. And two, then you can take the CG on top of it and you can make it scarier.
Yeah.
You can add things that practical effects just won't quite work good enough for.
Yeah.
And I think a great example of this is going to be, when I eventually watch it, because I'm going to watch it, Dark Crystal, the new TV show.
Oh, okay. I still haven't yet either.
Because I do know they stuck with a lot of practical. There's so many practical effects.
They had to, otherwise people would riot.
Yeah, it wouldn't do well at all
No.
without it. But there's also a lot of CG as well.
Yes.
And there you can have a combination. You can blend. They can work together. It can work. I know it can. But I mean, that's what you get, like what Abrams originally did episode 7. There's a lot of practical effects in there because he wanted to stick with more practical effects. Yeah. So there's something to it. You just have to know when to use it and when not to use it.
Yeah.
Because they do have a certain look, and it can work really well for certain creatures, and certain creatures you just have to find it.
It sometimes does even better when your animatronics like freak out and do their own thing. It makes it 10 times scarier, like a T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Practical effects that stand the test of time.
Yeah. Like, watching it now, you can tell when the computer graphics kick in. But you weren't able to when they did that. It was like, whew. But, yes, at one point in time, one of the T-Rexes, like the animatronics for it, like, freaked out. And so the fear in the kids' faces in that moment is real. Because That's what happens when giant T-Rexes get water in them. I think, if I remember correctly, it was when they were in the Jeep, and like the T-Rex comes down on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the glass wasn't supposed to completely fall in on them, and it does, and the T-Rex just keeps going, and the kids are freaking out because they don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the scene. It's because that was not supposed to happen, and they just left it.
Well, I mean, at that point, once it did happen, and they realized the kids, they're fine. They're terrified. This is great. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. This will be great. Yeah. And then we get Jurassic World, and that's the movie that happened. Yeah. She runs in high heels the whole movie. I will never get past this. I will never get past it.
See, I liked the movie up until... for some reason, I liked the movie. I did not like her.
I didn't like the movie. Oh. It was okay at best. And then the second one happened, and it was terrible. I hate the second one.
I did not care for the second one. As I said, the only reason why I watched it is because dinosaurs. Because I like me some dinosaurs. But
and I love Chris Pratt. Yes. God, I love Chris Pratt. But man, and I'm sure you make a ton of money because those movies made a ton of money.
Yeah.
But God, they're such bad movies.
But no, I actually liked the first Jurassic World. As I said, I just did not care for her character. She annoyed me. It was like, I don't know. Like, I felt how Chris Pratt's character, how Owen felt in the scene where she's literally, they're trying to hunt down the kids, and she just like ties her shirt into a knot and puts her, and he's like, what is that supposed to mean? The moment his character looked at her and said that is how I felt about her the entire movie. It was like, what are you even here for? Like, what are you doing?
Love Chris Pratt. Period. Love Chris Pratt. He's a great actor. So, great actor. He's a funny man. I enjoy him, and I will watch him.
That and the brothers, I don't know. Like, the brothers, because I've seen at least the older brother. I think I've seen the younger brother now and stuff, too. But I've seen the older brother in different movies and stuff, and he's actually done pretty well. But
who are we talking about?
In Jurassic World, the two brothers.
What two brothers?
Literally, the two brothers, the two main characters besides Chris Pratt.
Are you talking about the kids in there?
Yes.
Okay, I barely remember them. I know they were there, though.
Okay. Well, yes, they've gone and done different things since then. And I've seen the older brother and stuff. I don't know about the younger one yet. I think I saw him in something. Either way, it's like their acting was good, but the lines they gave them were absolutely horrible. Like, and that was probably my least favorite part about Jurassic World is the dialogue that they gave these actors to do. Like, just the writing on it was horrible. Just some of the stuff that they had to say to each other. I'm like, are you serious? Really?
I feel like I need to see if I can find some good creature features now.
They're out there.
I see that.
Have you seen Silver Bullet?
I've never even heard of it, so let's go with no.
Silver Bullet is a old film. I would say I'm probably like way somewhere in the age of the Goonies and Lost Boys.
I don't care about Lost Boys, but I still like the Goonies.
Oh, get out! I will leave. Never mind this year.
What was it like? I don't know, like a decade ago, we were forced to watch The Lost Boys with Sandy and Laura because they liked it.
Yeah.
So me and my brother and a few, we watched it, and I think we made fun of it the whole time.
The original Lost Boys, not the second one, not the
original one. The original one. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I'm pretty sure we made fun of it the whole time.
Well, I enjoyed the Lost Boys.
Throwing it out there.
Oh. Ignore him.
I know people like it.
Ignore him.
I know
love
it's popular.
The Lost Boys, but no. Anyways, in that area, I can never get the two of them right. There's Corey Haim and there's Corey Feldman. They were called the Corey brothers because they always were in films together and they were best friends and everything. It was the one that ended up committing suicide.
I don't know who either of these people are, so I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm just like, no.
Anyways.
You're describing these people like I should know exactly who they are.
You should.
I have no
you should know.
idea who you're talking about.
Did you watch Dream a Little Dream?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, well then never mind. Anyways.
Dream a Little Dream?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
What movies did you grow up watching?
Different ones from you.
Apparently. But they were in Dream a Little Dream. They were in Lost Boys together. One of them was the younger brother. The other one was one of the Frog Brothers, ones who worked at the comic book shop.
I barely remember Lost Boys at all. So you're not going anywhere there.
They were at least one of them was in the Goonies.
And I like the Goonies, but
oh my fucking god.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
they're people.
They're people.
Oh, they were people.
Okay, Corey Feldman is the one that was, I believe, in the Goonies. He is, I should say. He is, because he is the one that is still amongst the living. Okay, phone. Let's pick this time to decide to just not work. But anyways, his character in the Goonies was... Come on, little dude. I'm sure it'll show up eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah. It'll be there. I promise you. It'll show up.
You see that? Now this man looks familiar.
This one.
Mouth. He was one of the kids.
Yes.
Oh.
He was one of the kids. Okay. Now...
Well, I recognize him as an adult in this picture. What else have you done, buddy? Something more recent-ish. Oh, you're a voice actor. You with the voice acting. That's not going to help.
I was trying to think of something he did when he was older, but I can't think of anything.
Born July 16th, 1971.
But, anyways, what I was trying to say is that Corey Haim, because now that I know which one it is, he was in a movie where he is actually in a... This is Corey Haim.
He doesn't look familiar.
Okay. Because that's literally a picture of him, like, at the Lost Boys age.
Again, I don't remember anything. Don't remember people from Lost Boys.
We're not friends anymore, okay?
I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to help you out.
Anyways, he is actually in a wheelchair, and he is convinced, like absolutely convinced, that his neighbor is a werewolf. And so he tries to get either a priest or a friend or something like that to try to help him prove that his neighbor is a werewolf so he can kill him.
Talking werewolves. I remember really liking American Werewolf.
That was a good one too. And of course, Teen Wolf.
Very different. Very different movie.
Yes. But no, it was actually really good for, I mean, that age period movies. Silver Bullet.
Another creature feature. It's not really a creature feature, but it's also still really good. Only the first one. It's a cult classic. Super Troopers. Not Super Troopers. No. Starship Troopers. There's troopers in it.
Wow.
Starship Troopers.
Totally different movies.
Very different.
Totally.
Very different. But Starship Troopers. The cult classic.
Yes.
Original. Only the original, because the rest are horrible. Except for the CG one they did. Where they brought back the original cast.
Oh.
Or at least
I
their
just
likeness.
remember the first one. That's the only one I remember.
Well, the CG one is like the fourth or fifth one, but they ignore all of them except the first one.
Oh, okay.
And
that's nice.
Their likenesses from the first one are brought into this. It's actually pretty entertaining. The other ones just kept getting lesser budgets every single time, and they were horrible.
All I remember is the first one, so we're good.
It's really the only one worth remembering. But the CG one, I mean, if you like the first one, I would recommend it. It's actually good.
I can't remember if The Howling was any good, because it was another old werewolf one.
You only give me werewolf movies. I hate seeing
It's a trend, okay? It's a trend. I watched more werewolf stuff than I did vampires.
See,
so.
when it comes to werewolves, I like particular kinds of werewolves.
Yes.
I don't like werewolf movies where the werewolf is just a wolf.
I like both. But
I
I'm
like
very
when
partial
they
wolf.
transform into some kind of wolf creature.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole creature part of it.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that a lot of movies like to use, like when you look at them, like Twilight, or I've seen other ones a lot where the werewolf is just a wolf, because it's a lot cheaper just to get a wolf in to play the wolf versus doing some really cool special effects or CG version of a werewolf.
I don't know which Twilight movie you watched, but they didn't have wolves.
Well, they're CG'd, but still, they were still normal wolves.
They're dire wolves. They're
Whatever.
giant.
They're big wolves, but they look exactly like wolves. When I'm talking about werewolves, I'm talking like American Werewolf Lupin from.
Yes, you're literally talking about werewolf, like man-wolf, okay? You're literally talking about a mix between... You're talking about an anthropomorphic wolf is exactly what you're talking about.
Anything that's bigger and scarier than your traditional
You're talking about a wolf with human characteristics, as in it stands up and...
It needs to be frightening. It needs to be frightening. I mean, it could be like a kaiju wolf.
You need to... How many hours are we? Okay, we're good. We're solid. This was a great episode.
Yeah, I don't know when we start. We had a long period. I don't know.
You're fired. I'm firing him from this podcast, everybody.
Like I said, I like bigger, scary wolves.
Yeah.
Like Lupin. I think Lupin's a really cool looking... How they decided to portray werewolves in their version. These like really long-legged, really interesting wolves. But again, I like anything that's outside the normal.
Yeah.
Which I like normal creatures too. I mean, I've been... today I watched like 3 episodes. Episode of Animal Planet, followed by 2 episodes of Life.
Yeah. You know, it's a really strange creature, the maned wolf.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. You say
It
that.
is literally... It looks like a wolf crossed with a deer.
We're looking it up now.
And if I remember right, it's not even part of the wolf family. It's just called a wolf.
It's not even part of the wolf family.
But it has like almost like gazelle length legs. But it is.
Well, this is what you're talking about. I would never say it was crossed with a deer. Yes, it has longer legs on it. But how I would never have described it. You know, it looks like a wolf crossed with a deer.
I would.
That was not the first route I would have went. Again, it does have long legs though. 10 leggy facts about the maned wolf. You just had to use that word, didn't you? Deer? Fox? Wolf? Nope!
See? It's right there.
I don't see deer anywhere in that.
Yeah.
Okay, it has long legs.
It's the legs. Okay.
But that does remind me a lot more of the Lupin version of their werewolf.
Yeah. It also reminds me of...
Now I'm curious. You have me curious. What is it if it's not any of these things?
It also reminds me of... it has the same like shoulder and front leg structure as the things from the Dark Crystal, the white moths.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about this wolf still? What are we talking about?
Yeah, like you look at it, it's the like how sharp the angles are of the arms and how they stretch forward. It reminds me of the white like moth creatures that they climb onto and ride in the Dark Crystal.
I'm not seeing a correlation at the moment, but...
Oh my god. When's the last time you watched The Dark Crystal?
With you in theaters. I think it was with you.
I don't remember.
I went with somebody to the theater to watch it.
I don't have a ticket for it, and I collect my tickets, so I don't think so.
Well, I don't know who I went with it. I don't think I went with Mike. I don't think Mike went.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. I don't know these things.
What classification? Mammal. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Maybe is it a marsupial? No, I don't think so.
Wolf. Give me something here. All right, it's the largest.
Is it related to a
fox,
kangaroo?
It's neither a fox nor a wolf. It is the only species in the genome. Some fancy word, meaning golden dog.
Oh, okay. So it's a canine of some sort.
That's what. Kingdom. Blah blah blah. Class. Mammalia. Family. Canidia?
Canidae.
Whatever. Tribe. Canini.
Canini?
Canini?
Canini? What does it look like?
Canini is the word. I'm just giving you these fancy words, okay? They're words I don't know. But anyway, golden dog. So, yeah, I mean, I guess he's kind of in a world of his own.
Yes.
It's cool looking, though.
The name of a tribe of canids. a group of species in the dog family of animals, including dogs, wolves, jackals, and some South American foxes.
So
Interesting.
he's just related to the doggy. There's some awesome animals.
Anime.
But back what I was saying before, yeah, I really, really enjoy watching those documentary type things about
Yeah.
different animals around the world. Like, these things are awesome.
There's some really strange animals out there that it's like 100% after seeing these animals, I'm like, well, now I know where that creature came from.
Exactly. I saw something the other day. I'm like, this could be a horror movie creature right here. I guarantee it. This would do something. I mean, just look around the natural world. We got enough crazy things around that you can definitely draw inspiration from.
And that is really why I liked when the show Face Off originally came out. Like, I didn't watch the later seasons, but when it originally came out, that's why I enjoyed it.
I don't know what it is.
Face Off was the
I know it's
special...
a movie. John Travolta. And,
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
No, wrong Face Off. That was Face/Off. Okay. Or something like that. Okay. But Face Off, no, this was a show, and it was the special makeup effects show. So it was... people were pitted against each other to create like actual special makeup effects on like these models and stuff that they had. So they did everything from body painting to the actual fabrication of their costume and props to go with it. Like, they did everything. And it was just really cool because what they had to do was just like any competition, they had challenges. And so some of the challenges were to like create your own sci-fi creature. Mm-hmm. And what they would do is say, create them based off this. And so like each area would have like a different animal or something like that. And so they had to choose which animal they wanted and then research that animal and take that animal and build it into a sci-fi creature.
See, your best luck is don't worry about the mammal family. Because, there are some creepy mammals. But you start getting into some of the other families.
Deep sea. Go to deep sea.
Deep sea is terrifying in so many ways. And then you go into anywhere in the insect family. Yeah. And it's just horrifying.
But no, that's why I really liked when Face Off first started. Is because they did weird things like that. Like, they would take... they would take like a sci-fi creature, or they would take a fantasy creature or whatever, and you had to, like, I think with one of the last challenges, like one of the last final season challenges, they had to make 3 creatures, like 3 aliens, I think it was. Never before seen aliens using the elements. And they had to make each one of those aliens a different element and actually bring them to life. And so they did things throughout the show like that, where it was like, take these animals, take parts of these animals, and actually turn it into this sci-fi creature for the newest movie that's coming out, or something like that.
No, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's totally something I would watch.
Yeah. But as I said, earlier seasons I really enjoyed. That was my huge thing because I had pretty much just come off of working at VOT, so I was doing makeup effects already, and so I just absolutely loved it. And then as the seasons continued on, it was just like, I don't know if I lost interest in it or if the seasons... To me, it felt like the seasons focused more and more later on the drama than it did...
I hate that stuff.
Than it did on the actual makeup effects. So I think I lost interest in it because, yes, it's going to happen. Like, in the first couple seasons or so, you have molds that wouldn't release. And, like, people having to literally start over at the very last minute. You're going to have that drama. But later on, they focused so much on that. They focused on so much on the drama between the people and stuff like that I'm just like,
It went to reality TV,
yes,
and not so much on what the competition was about.
But no, the first couple seasons were great. I still follow some of the people that, on Facebook, I still follow some of the people who either won or almost won, or just my favorites from the first couple seasons. And some of them are still doing amazing work. So I'm like, yay!
Yeah, there's some insanely cool, unique, crazy creatures out there that do all kinds of weird, crazy, interesting things to survive, to anything. It's amazing what these creatures do.
As I said, deep sea. Go anywhere. Go anywhere at the bottom, towards the bottom of the ocean,
Some terrifying things down there. Some terrifying things.
Like, we've reached our level, and you just go a little lower than that, and then things get weird. Things that don't need eyeballs.
Yeah. A lot of terrifying creatures down in the deep.
I think I'll pass. I'll stay up on the surface. There's enough terrifying creatures.
Yeah, there's plenty of terrifying creatures up here.
Could you imagine, like, meeting an anglerfish?
Oh, anglerfish. There's the black sea devil anglerfish. There's
like,
anglerfish.
You just see a little glowing dot, and you're like, oh, this is no.
And then you see all the teeth that accompany the little glowing dot. And they're terrifying.
Like, just the thought of even just meeting... Like, it's not even that terrifying as far as look-wise, but just the thought of meeting a barracuda. I think I'll pass.
Well, most things in the sea, you start getting down. They can kill you.
Like, I don't even think barracuda is deep sea. It's just a sea I don't want to go to. Like, he's a fish. Teeth. Fish with sharp teeth. I will pass. I'm done. We're good. Like, even just... giant versions of regular fish is just terrifying. Like, just seeing a giant tuna ever, I'll pass. In real life, I'm good.
Some of these things, I like, oh, if you were just bigger. Like the black sea devil one, he's only like this big. He's only like this big or something. He's uber tiny. When you get close to him, I mean, he's terrifying. He's absolutely horrifying.
You will lose a toe.
If he was 10 or 15 feet long, he would be the scariest thing to ever swim in the sea. But he's that big. He's not very scary at that point.
That just reminds me of, like certain spiders and stuff like that.
Oh, don't.
Like,
they're oh.
Like, yes, it is probably one of the it's probably one of the, in my line of creature features, it's a B movie. I don't care, but Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, well, that was a great B movie.
It was a great B movie.
Everybody liked Eight-Legged Freaks.
But still, terrifying giant spiders.
There's a reason why spiders are like one of the biggest phobias on the planet. Because they're terrifying.
Like, all those eyeballs, the little pincher teeth, and just the hairy legs, and just
But I think that just comes down to, like, insects. Mm-hmm. Insects are terrifying.
Like, even watching the original Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Well, just watching my little show when they want to focus on insects and stuff. And they zoom way close to them and stuff. Like, oh, God, you're just... Oh, no, in every way, no. Oh, no.
Can we just slam the nope button, please?
Oh, just insects. They're terrifying. They're just terrifying in every way.
And it's sad because... there was one day that I was walking through, like, behind the house, and connected to the trees and stuff like that, there was a giant web. And in the web was a thing about this big. I call it a crab spider. I don't know what they're called. But it was literally a white, it could be a white spider with black spots or a black spider with white spots. I don't know these things.
It's a zebra conundrum.
Yes. But it's shaped just like kind of like a horseshoe crab kind of thing. Or it's shaped like a crab. And
horseshoe crabs are terrifying. Look at the other side of those suckers.
But yeah, just like it's just shaped like a crab, and it has the little pinchers and stuff like that. But it's a spider, and I'm just like, you're adorable, but just staying over there.
Crabs and spiders have a lot of similarities. One's underwater, one's not underwater. But
I can handle a crab though.
But crabs don't look as terrifying.
Yeah.
But spiders, they do. Because they were focusing on what was the chameleon.
Oh.
And they were showing chameleon how their tongue can reach out and grab things. They were showing like the praying mantis super close. Uh-huh. It's like, God, you're terrifying. You're terrifying.
Praying mantis.
Then when you see the tongue just over top of the head. And like these little guys, they get you. And they showed the desert chameleon. Which is very interesting. I didn't know they had chameleons that live in the desert. And showing how they would warm up by turning half their body black.
Yeah.
So they absorb the sun.
Yes,
and the other half is white, so they keep the heat from escaping.
Yeah.
And stuff is like.
The craziest one, well, not really, just desert-wise, is the Sidewinder. The snake that literally,
I think I've...
like, instead of traveling in a straight line, it literally just goes off to the side.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're never getting anywhere, buddy. Like, I'm sorry, buddy. You're just never getting anywhere. But yeah, it literally travels sideways.
That, of course, I saw one different type of sea snake. They're trying to show where they had to lay their eggs because they couldn't do it underwater because the eggs they had to be above. So they go underwater and go into a cave and lay them up inside a cave where there's no predators, so they could survive there. And these frogs that would, they're in the forest, so they would do their eggs in like a puddle of water on the ground. But because they were vulnerable, when they were turned to tadpoles, they'd get the tadpole to crawl on their back, one at a time. So they climb up a tree, and there's a particular kind of, some kind of plant or something that grows off that's like a pool of water in the center. And they put one in there. And they do that, each tadpole to a different one up the tree. So back and forth.
You got some commitment going.
And then, this is not even the worst of it. Then, they had to feed these tadpoles in these different areas. So they would lay an unfurled egg in the water for the tadpoles to eat. And they'd come back every so often to give a new egg every single time to each one.
Commitment.
I'm like, sweet, your little tight...
Parents of the year. Parents of the year.
Oh my God. That's a lot. It's a lot.
You've officially beat out like alligators or crocodiles and stuff that carry their babies like in their mouths and stuff like that, like hanging off their teeth. Like, you guys have beat that.
Animals are crazy. And they were showing some...
Or then, of course, you got the spiders who just lay their eggs inside their mates, and then that's just... Food! Yeah, just popping out. Yeah, no.
These spiders are terrifying. Showing some monkeys that have developed, basically... there's these certain type of like large nuts that grow on the plant. And they would take those... They would strip off the bark or all the outside, whatever's on the outside, and let them sit on the ground for a few weeks to do whatever it needs to do. And then come back and make sure they're ripe and make sure they're good. And then they would take them to a rock, and you see all these little rocks have like little holes and stuff in them. And they put it in there, and they have found the right type of rock that won't break, that's tough, that works, and they would bust open the things. Using the rocks they had provided. Like, Dad, these things, y'all are smart.
It's like, I watched one where it was a program purely for hooking cameras onto animals that you may not be able to get to their private life because they are just really reclusive, like they hide. And so it was trying to hook cameras onto these animals so that you could get a better understanding of your life. Every time they tried it with a monkey of some sort, the thing, like, it put it on, and the monkey would literally take it off and, like, literally just, and then throw it. No matter how many times they tried different fastening things, it would always unfasten them somehow.
Oh, the monkeys, they have thumbs and everything.
And then it would, at one point in time, I think one of them was, like, trying to take pictures and stuff. Like, it was, like, trying to use the camera. Like, it understood what the purpose of the camera was at one point. Like, it was, like, just sitting there, like, looking into the camera. And obviously some people are like, oh, it's the reflection. And it's like, yeah, but how does it know to press the freaking button?
No, they're smart. It's very smart animals out there.
But it's cool because the same program was one of the first ones to actually learn about prairie dogs. Like, most people, or most, since this show or whatever, before this show, prairie dogs, of course, you could get above ground. No. Was prairie dogs or meerkats? Well, both of them, of course, both of them would do the whole tunnel system, so I can't remember which one it was. But because they live in tunnels, you can't get a camera down there to see, like, the breeding or the like caring of the babies or anything like that. So they finally were able to connect a camera to one that was small enough and compact enough to where it wouldn't get damaged and stuff. And so you were able to go into these tunnels, and you were able to figure out that not only is there wide connections and just like these tunnels go everywhere, and sometimes they have false tunnels and stuff like that, but they were able to see the babies and stuff for the first time. And the babies were able to figure out the tunnel system even though they were just born.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were able to figure it out and know it. And I was like, this is so cool. I love nature.
Well, it's amazing what things just born are able to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Just instinctively know right off the bat. Like the turtle knowing that he needs to go to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that that's the direction you need to go to get to the water? Why do you think you even need to go into the water?
Like, I'm gonna go to the woods.
Like, why?
Little buddy, you're a sea turtle. I'm gonna go to the woods.
Well, think how it works. That's not what I'm doing. But it's just all these creatures that instinctively know what they need to be doing.
Especially the ones that their parents literally just leave them, like turtles. Like,
peace out. I hope you make it back, but
if I see you again, I see you. If I don't,
I tried. Okay, I tried.
Maybe your 50 other brothers will make it.
Yeah.
Out of the 50 of you, I'll see 5. We're good.
Sometimes that's kind of what it is. It's a numbers game. Because what they showed was a giant Pacific octopus. They lay, it was like 100,000 eggs or something. It's insane. Something insane. But they lay them. They sit there. They protect them and they clean all the eggs and stuff. And the mother doesn't eat or do anything and dies. Like right around the babies get born.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, most of these won't make it to adulthood, but some will. It's like, well, okay.
And I guess in that cycle of life, that's kind of what they have to do, is lay as many as possible and hope for the best. Because that's how your species is going to keep going. Because it's like, if you could you imagine if it was like mammals, where you only lay like 5, and it's like, well, your species not existing anymore, because
that's just crazy how some of these reproduce and how they work. It was kind of a cicadas, whatever they are. But it's like every 17 years they emerge from the ground because they've hatched, and there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these things that come out of the ground, and they climb these trees and they harden and then they mate and they die all within like 2 days.
And we must be the one of the
They
7.
provide a crap ton of food for all kinds of things around them. They go back to the ground, and in 17 more years they'll come back.
And apparently we are in the year of Pennywise, because they're screaming at us all over the place. Okay.
It was some kind of weird little beetle creature. I don't remember what it was.
Pennywise is based off a bug, isn't it?
But their whole mating thing was all within. As soon as they were, I think, as soon as they're born, or as soon as they come out, they're all soft and white. Mm-hmm. And their only goal is they use bubbles to push inside their skulls, inside their heads, and they push out the bubbles so their eyes poke out, and it makes these stems with their eyes on the end. And the goal is to get them as long as they possibly can. So their eyes are like out here.
What creature is this?
It's some kind of little bug. I can't remember what it was. I watched it today. And the goal is that they have to do this right when they're first out of their little shells and stuff, because they're still soft and stuff. And they create that. And then a little later in life, that whoever has the longest eye stems are the ones who get to mate.
Well, I'm glad that has not moved into humanity.
It's like, that's crazy. Oh, crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's just,
that is a competition. That is, whew.
Eye stems.
Eye stems. Apparently, that is the. You got some nice eye stems there, bud.
Pretty much. Because they would go up, and the bugs would go into each other, and whoever has longer ones, they measure them. That's all they do. And whoever measures longer, they're the winner.
So, guys, what he's trying to say is, size
bigger
does
really
matter.
is better.
Size does matter.
Yes.
Oh,
especially when it comes to eye stems.
When your stems got to be long.
It does. Both of them.
Both of them. Both stems got to be long. Could you imagine if it's like one has the longest one, but it's just the one?
The one.
And it's like, does this count? Does this count?
It's just weird.
Bizarre. Nature is bizarre.
They physically alter their head right as soon as they hatch there for mating later on.
Nature is bizarre.
It is. It's crazy things that these things do. Between eating, between surviving, between mating, between everything.
And here's my thing, is like just with mammals, for mammals it's almost easier because it is a large creature. It's something that you can... Could you imagine being the person who has studied one of this thing all its life? I mean, bugs sometimes it's easier because their life is literally just...
Yeah, the bugs generally have short lifespans.
But could you imagine being the person who studies this?
Hey, some people have a fascination with insects.
That is true.
On the other hand, I think they're terrifyingly horrifying creatures. But,
apparently, Chris Pratt is one of those people.
well, good for him.
Yes, he apparently has a giant bug collection. So
Again, good for him. I can't stand insects. I think they're horrifying. They're terrifying little creatures. They all can die.
No, they can't. They are food. They are food for. They are food for.
They help the world go around. They do.
They are food for our little bat people. Okay,
I do like
our little
bats.
bats.
I'm a big fan of bats. But...
Yes, we need them. Okay, we might not like the buggies.
Well, they're food
but
for
the buggies,
a
yes.
lot of things, but
Eater.
a lot of things.
But the circle of life.
Mammals are simpler, only because I guess we're mammals, so we kind of relate to these creatures a lot more.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess there is a thing out there for everyone. But it's just crazy. I can just imagine, like, how would you learn that? Like, how would you learn?
Somehow, again, that's where it comes back to instinctively knows what to do.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, as humans, like, how, by watching these things, are they that see-through that we can see the bubbles go up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
They just showed it. I mean, it's like almost clear iridescent, and you can see like these bubbles going and seeing the eye stalks get longer. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like, I'm fascinated, but I'm terrified. Like,
It's crazy.
It's just like this eerie feeling. It's like, see, this is the stuff that makes horror movies, okay?
These things could be horror
Have
movies.
a creature that does that.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, you're just... Like, it just comes up on you and just suddenly its eye stalks just start growing. And nope, I'm done. This movie's over. We're good.
It's crazy.
That's it. We're making our own horror movie.
Yeah.
About whatever insect this is.
And
it just kills you with its eye stalks. It just beats you to death. But on that note, guys...
On eye stalks?
Honestly, though, besides the huge anime rant in the beginning, I think we've been pretty on point for this episode. We've pretty much stuck with the same theme. We've been talking about horror. We've been talking about things that are terrifying, what makes good horror movies, and
well, that was the original goal.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. For the first time, and I don't know how many what's in the boxes, we've actually kept on a main theme for the majority besides our random anime thing.
Besides the beginning anime rant that went on for 40 minutes.
I think we've done pretty good. I don't know if anyone's made it this far, and if you have...
Congratulations.
I'm sorry for screaming at you, because there's been a couple of times where we've literally just went... Pshah!
That's always me.
Yeah.
It's always me.
But other than that, I'm proud of us. And this has been an interesting conversation. It's really interesting to find out what actually terrifies people. And for us, I think the next horror movie we are looking for apparently has to have bugs in it.
I might not watch it.
But it would be horrifying.
I need a good creature feature. That's why I said mimic.
Yes.
Exactly. Mimic is terrifying. These giant cockroaches that mimic people.
Like, even if you think about the Men in Black, like the original Men in Black with the giant cockroach, I'm like...
But again, that was also, another instance of, like, practical effects mixed with CG.
Yeah. Like, and he wasn't even that much of an ugly cockroach. He was actually a pretty decent looking cockroach, but it was just all the pinchers and all the... And even the scene where he's, like, stepping on the other cockroaches going, oh, was that your uncle? Is that your auntie? Yeah. All of the squishing and the crunching.
No, I know.
So yes, apparently we need a really good creature feature that involves insects.
Can we just get creature features in general? How about that? I don't.
Yes, but you're looking for the one that horrifies you. Remember?
I just don't like looking at them.
I know, but that would scare you. Would that scare you?
Me watching just the Animal Planet over here. That's scary enough.
So look out, guys. We need.
Or should I say on the BBC? That's where all these are coming from.
I love the BBC. Okay.
I think all of them are from BBC.
So guys, give us a list of really good creature features and bonus points if they involve bugs.
Negative points if they involve
No.
bugs.
Bonus points because apparently that's what he needs.
I just don't want to look at it.
You were looking for good horror. Okay?
I don't
you
want
were
to look at it.
You were looking for something that terrifies you. So bring us a really good creature feature involving a bug.
I disagree. Just creature feature
And
in general.
Mothman doesn't count. He's not a moth. Neither does Butterfly Effect. That doesn't count either. Just because it has a bug in the name, it does not count.
Good movie, though.
Yes, it was.
Me.
Give us your recommendations.
A little over 2 hours, and we'll be good there, I guess.
I think we're good. We've well rounded out everything. We've asked for suggestions. I hope someone at least has made it this far.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We'd always appreciate that. And if you did make it this far, you have no reason not to subscribe. If you got through this much of the video, you better subscribe. That's all I'm saying.
Watch an entire 2.5 hour presentation and go, I hated it.
It was terrible. Oh, well, wonderful.
I
And
guess
if you did hate it, just comment that. Just comment that you hated it. Did you watch the whole thing, but you hated it the whole time?
Be like, I hoped it got better and it didn't. The end.
I hated that guy kept calling things kaijus. I can't understand.
Will you let it go? Oh my god.
Never. I'll never let it go.
Okay. We gotta go over this real quick because there's no real other show that we have. I mean, we only have one other show now, but there's not really. It is one show with 2 parts, technically.
So Let's Blabber doesn't count.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you don't care about Let's Blabber. You don't care about our Dark Tower discussion that we have every week.
I forgot. My bad. It's just strange because it only happens that one cycle around. But 2 shows. Okay, so we have 2 shows, and there's not really a good point to talk about it. But somehow, some way, we're not quite sure, but we kind of have an inkling of how it happened. We somehow ended up on Reddit Watch. Someone has shared our show.
Oh, by the way, when I checked the analytics on that earlier, YouTube and external sources are almost dead tied for all the views we're getting.
Huh.
And still, like 68-70% of all the
External
are Reddit.
See, somehow we ended up on Reddit Watch, and we're not quite sure. As I said, we kind of maybe have an idea, but still it's a little blurry. Somehow we ended up on Reddit, and we stumbled upon it only to find out that one person commented on our Sunny's Edge review episode and had a major issue with him calling Sunny a kaiju.
Yep. Yeah. I still say small kaiju. The problem with that, they're kaijus.
Like, he won't let it go.
I won't.
I have tried so hard. He will not let it go. So now it's going to be just a running joke, apparently, that it's just going to sneak in
There'll be
every now and
kaiju
then.
everywhere.
Oh, which reminds me, while we're on that episode, since I looked it up and I accidentally had called it in the furry community, I thought it was a serval. It's actually a sergal. Okay, a serval is a cat. It is an actual breed of a cat that exists in nature, is a serval. I for some reason, the V and the G, I didn't realize there was a G. But yes, a sergal is the shark-looking dragon type thing in the furry community.
Otherwise known as a kaiju.
Either way, if you look up sergal, though, it really, really does resemble Sunny's creature. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, there we go. So probably more of a circle than a kaiju. But from now on, it's kaiju.
He's not going to let it go.
I won't.
He's petty as hell.
I am. 100%.
But anyways, we don't know how we got on Reddit, but we are there. Apparently a lot of views are coming from there. So hi, guys.
Yeah, hello, Reddit.
I wave, even though most likely if you're watching on Reddit, well, no, Reddit it has a watching platform. I was about to say, if you're coming from Reddit, you're most likely coming through our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But if you're just listening to us, I will wave anyways.
All of the -3 people that make it this far heard about this. Congratulations.
So yes, we are on Reddit. If you are the one responsible for us being on Reddit, thank you.
It seems to have helped.
Thank
That's
you.
nice.
We'd just like you to actually, step up, say hello to us. We'd like to hear people.
Maybe he has.
Do we have a secret admirer?
Maybe he has. Maybe it is the person we think it is.
Okay.
We don't know.
We have secret admirers.
Anyways, we're gone. We're leaving. We're out. Peace out. Enjoy. Have fun. We've already said all this stuff and then ranted further. So.
When have we not ever done this?
I know. Till next time! Long days and pleasant nights.